Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Happy birthday, Daria. She must be having fun on her birthday. Just a second, everybody. So I heard from her at last night. So I sent her this, which I found that I had sent her last year. Resent it. I haven't heard from her. She's been on. She was just on a little while ago. So we'll see. And I was watching this stoic and your relationship, if you see these signs. So that's always our question. How are we treated? And basically there's 12 signs, but I was halfway through it. And basically what it says is, are you able to be yourself? Are you to do what you want in the relationship? Are you growing? As what they, when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't have a problem. You should be free to do what you want, and your other does what she wants. And if you stop growing where it's uncomfortable or you're asking questions, that's when you walk away, no matter how good it is. So it's recognizing growth stifling. It's 12 things: recognizing growth stifling relationships, navigating negative emotions in stoic, the dangers of manipulation and control, identifying harmful relationship dynamics, the foundation of mutual respect, reality versus illusion in relationships, the non-negotiables, values and reciprocation, addressing abuse and failed communication, seeking tranquility and connections. So if you find yourself, see, that's the key. Just because you found somebody and you're spending time with them, how is the relationship going? So, like I would worry when I didn't hear from Daria for 3 days. You'd be like, what the fuck's going on? So it's not really good. But anyway, all you can do is say, hey, this bothers me, contact me. Like last night, she contacted me. I said, happy birthday. She said, thank you. But last night's her day. So right now it's like 7:00 at night. So I just sent her doing class and we'll see how she responds. But normally she responds in the morning. I assume she's having a good time for her birthday. I sent her some money. She was going to cook something. And I just asked her, so how did you celebrate? I think her friend was going to come over. I don't know what they were going to do, but her friend was going to come over and spend it. So I helped give her a good time by giving her money so she could get something good to eat and enjoy. That's what makes me feel good. That's the point of it. Anyway, so there's a few things. Stoic's about, taking care of yourself and helping others. And it's not getting like, they'll talk about money and it's like, well, you don't want to talk too much money. Like it's not like you never help, but you got to get reciprocated. So as long as the person appreciates your help, you can help them. You don't want to never help. Like our friend Phil wouldn't help. He's not going to have too many friends because if they actually need his help, they're going to say, fuck you, what are you doing? So that's stoic. It's about looking after yourself and your friends and being strong and being a leader, not a follower. And just like we believe in Mahomes, we're betting Mahomes, we stick to it. Or we believe gold will go up, we stick to it. So we'll get to some more stoic. So let's go. Here, you're in a bad relationship, you walk away and be free. So it's always about yourself. The stoic. I don't know. I didn't watch this one. I think if I just click on it or I click by it, it goes into my my thing. All right. I was watching this thing yesterday. Let me get to it. I mean, you just click on these things and they go into your watched. I was watching Coin Shop owner shows easy gold testing trick. Well, we already know all that. I tried to sell 100 gold coins to coin shops. This was just stupid. It was a waste of time. It's not even worth it. This guy, bullion dealer, warning over potential silver, confiscation. It's not going to happen. Again, it's idiots not knowing what they're talking about. All right, I was watching this a little bit. When gold runs, silver spends. So we're going to break down 4 idiots. And you know how I love breaking down these idiots, right? So we're going to break them down. And the problem is people give you bad information or believe that they know what they're talking about, and you sit there and you know it's not what they're saying. So let's break down about 10 minutes of this. There's a basic question here that was asked that these guys couldn't answer, and it blows my mind. All right. This is Jay Martin, who I don't know, talking gold, or they're trying to talk gold, but they really don't know.
I want to jump in, and my first question is for you, Robert. This was actually submitted by the audience. There's a lot of online talk about manipulation in the silver market, and some investors wonder if, as a consequence, it's even worth playing this market. So what's your take on manipulation in the sector, and how do you manage that?
It is manipulated, but I'll go back in time. This here is a 1964 Kennedy $50. This coin changed my life. So in 1964, I was 17 years old. I had caddy to make money. And one day I was looking at this $50. It was no longer silver. It was copper. It's manipulated. So at that time, looking at this little copper coin here, and 64 was the last year that silver was still inside of our money. And so all of a sudden, I'm looking at this copper coin, and I didn't know it, Jay, but there's a law called Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law states, when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding. I didn't know how much that would change my life, because in 1964, I no longer trusted my government. And I took caddy to get my little dollar bills. I got $1 for 9 holes, $2 for 18 holes, 4 bags, all this stuff. But I'd take those dollars, I knew it was fake at that point. And I would trade my dollars in for rolls of dimes, quarters, and $50. And I'd sit there, and anything with copper in, I threw it back in, and I gave it back to the bank. So I had this bag full of what they call dirty silver today, it's called. And you can buy dirty silver in these old coins, is that correct?
That is correct.
And so 1964, 1965, I go to school in New York. I have this big bag of silver coins. I come back to Hawaii, where I'm from.
Okay, so how the hell is this answering the question? Is silver manipulated? What the hell is he talking about? The question is comex, right? Should I buy because comex keeps the price of silver at $23? That's the question. What is he doesn't even know what he's answering. What is he answering? Oh, I bought old silver. So what does that mean? I bought old silver. It's manipulated. Because they took the silver out of the coin does not mean the silver's manipulated. They took the silver out of the coin. The coin's no longer got silver in it. So he doesn't understand the question. He's off on a tangent about something that makes no sense because he was asked the question. We're not asking, geez, money got switched from silver to copper or whatever. He doesn't even understand the question. So it's really like, this is a guy you want to listen to? He can't answer a direct question. Is silver manipulated? Yes, comex, but because of brics. So let's talk about that question. Is silver manipulated? Yes, brics, comex is manipulated in London, and it's I would ignore it being manipulated for much longer because brics is going to come in and they're going to go to a gold back system and silver, and it'll blow up comex. That's how I answer the question. Very direct. What's the question? Is it manipulated? Yes, but I think it's over. As I answered straight, what the hell is this guy talking about? These are the people you got to be careful of. They can't listen. They can't think. They don't even understand the question, but they won't say, I don't understand the question. He goes off on quarters that are silver. What the fuck's he talking about? All right, let's keep going.
And I asked my mother, what happened to my bag of money? She says, I spent it. So I made a judgment. It's one of these traumatic. I've been to a psychiatrist a lot of times because.
Yeah, obviously.
But this is, I made kind of a decision. I said the reason poor people are poor is they don't know real.
Talking about people are poor because they don't have a skill set and they don't make money. Why do I make money? Because I got a master's in finance. Why do some people have? Why does Jenna not have money? Because she's not educated, and she's in the Ukraine, so she's poor. It's based on skill set. It's based on opportunity. It's based on being smart enough to get a good skill set so you can make money. And then it's, what do you do with your money? Do you invest it or do you just spend it? I know I got friends that buy cigarettes and drink with their money. They don't save their money and they don't investment. That's why you're poor, is you spend your money. That's it. It's not, there's no secret to it. Like gambling and you lose playing poker, or you lose at the casino playing slot machines. Probably you're going to be poor because you're not investing your money properly. And that's really not your fault. You just don't know. You're not educated in it. So again, he makes such stupid
that's why I'm here. That's why I speak for Jay. That's why I'm on gold and silver and numismatic. We've got to get back to real money. And for people stupid enough to not know real money from fake money.
All right. I mean, this guy's got a mental problem. People stupid enough. People aren't stupid. I never call anybody stupid. Don't buy gold. You just don't know. You haven't been educated. You haven't been talked to. That's why I say it, is you just don't know. You're not stupid because you don't know about gold, or you don't know about brics, or you don't know about comex. There's a difference. If you know and you don't do it, then maybe you're stupid. If you don't know or you don't understand, you're not stupid. You just don't know or don't understand because nobody's telling you. There's no class. There's nothing that you're being taught. So how would you be, most people don't know about gold. Are they all stupid? No, we'll take Warren Buffett. He doesn't have any gold. Is he stupid? Probably. But, all these guys, they're in different fields. Bill Gates, he's a computer guy. He doesn't know about finances. Is he stupid? No. We don't like him, but is he stupid? So people are, what you know your degree. So it's hard to sit there and say, these people are stupid or not. So anyway.
I was coming to them. Thank you.
This guy's really frustrating me. Now this woman's even stupider.
Lynette, I actually want to go to you with the exact same.
I don't understand why this
question.
woman's even on these things.
And I know this is one that's also very teed up for what you do. So same question, manipulation in the silver market. What's your take and how do you manage that?
Well, first of all, that I manage it, so I'll start that first. And that's about knowing the true value of an asset or any instrument. That's its fundamental value, because ultimately that's where it's going. I'm not a short-term trader, so I really don't care about the spot market. And especially in silver, when you look at the supply and demand dynamics, it's ridiculous for a spot. I don't know where it happens to be at this moment, but like at $22, $23 an ounce. You can't buy it for $22, $23 an ounce.
I bought it at 25.
Right? There's going to be a premium in there. So what I do is
I bought it for 25. What's she talking about? It's 23. I just went yesterday, 25.50. I bought 10 ounces. What the fuck's she talking about? That doesn't, again, she doesn't answer. We'll listen to her a little bit more. She wants to get to the true fundamental value. What the fuck is that? You have no idea. I don't know what Mahomes goes for until I put it on eBay and I go, okay, I'm going to sell this. It's a 50 count Mahomes. Just won his third Super Bowl. What's his value? And then somebody will bid it. I got to get it PSA 10. Somebody bids it. I hope this isn't there's a little white line here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. Right next to the Prestige up the top. But I hope it's still a PSA 10. I don't know the value of this. When I put an auction out, even then, and somebody bids $5,000, I don't know that's the real value because that's one auction. Now, if the next 10 auctions were also 5,000, it's worth 5,000. But I don't really know the value of this. How does she know the value of silver? How do you know the true value of silver? She doesn't know that. Again, but she's not answering the question.
Accumulate. I accumulate because what I know is that we're at the end of the currency's life cycle, this whole big experiment, not just the US dollar, not just the Canadian dollar, but every fiat government-based money. The debt bubble has already been popped. That's the difference between last year and this year, is that the debt bubble has already been popped. And ultimately, all assets go to their true fundamental value, which to Robert's point, that fake money, the fundamental value is a big fat zero. But for good money, for real money that you hold it and you own it outright, that too will come to pass. And this will indeed go to its true fundamental value. And then there are so many opportunities in this wealth transfer cycle that we're in, that if you're holding good money, you're going to be able to take advantage of it.
Of course, the two of you walk around with silver coins in your pocket, both of you.
So she doesn't answer the question either. Is it manipulated? Yes, it's manipulated. She doesn't answer it, does she? This is the problem when you get salesmen, not economists. We don't know how to even listen to the question, answer the question directly. If I'm at work and my boss says, is that spreadsheet done? And I do a song and a dance, she's looking. What's our actual number? Right? What was our total? What's our total expense for the year? Because I do expenses mostly. She's looking for the number. It's 10 million. She's not looking for, yes, I know. Yes, we have expenses and this and that. And I dance around. Answer the fucking question. The question is it manipulated? Did anybody hear a yes? Did anybody hear why? Or because of comex? I mean, nobody heard comex. Nobody heard, they heard she buys silver and it'll go to its true value. Is that in dollars or is that in silver? She can't answer the question. She doesn't know the answer. She doesn't know the answer, but she doesn't answer the question anyway. Neither of them did. So they both got asked. One guy said in 1964, they took the silver out. And she's saying, well, I buy silver because it'll go to its true value because the dollar's worthless. But again, that's not the question. The question is comex manipulating the price. In other words, what they're saying is silver's at 23. Is that manipulated? Should I buy it or not? And the answer is yes, because it won't stay because of all the BRICS countries. Silver will be much higher. That's what he's looking for, and neither of them can answer. It's just unbelievable. And then people will listen to these people, because I hear you guys asking me, Robert Kawasaki, why the hell would you listen to the guy? He doesn't even know how to answer a direct question. Yes, we know that the silver was taken out in 64. We know the Romans took their gold and silver out. So we know all that. But what does that got to do with is the silver market manipulated? Which it is, but it's because of BRICS and JP Morgan and the London bullion exchange. It's not because they took the silver out of the quarter in 1964. That wasn't manipulating it. It should have went to its normal price. And then she can't answer. She says, I stack it and the dollar, all the fiat currency. So she basically listens to our class. And then I apparently help her because she uses a lot of what I say. And she'll say, well, all the fiat currencies are going. Okay, but how does that, so good money will be there. Well, we know that. We have explained the Titanic. Surprised she didn't use Titanic. All right, let's go on.
Jewelry too.
I love it. Excellent. All right, Peter, I want to come to you next because Lynette, you mentioned, you're not a short-term trader. You guys are going to get so sick of me talking about time horizon, but I just think it's so important. So, Peter, you wrote a book recently, became a bestseller in this industry, outlining the case for why you feel like silver is the best investment of the generation, more or less to summarize. So what would you have to say to investors who have been beating their head against a wall for a long time, sitting on silver or silver stocks with no price action?
Well, thanks, Jay. What I would say is that one of the rarest commodities is patience. And especially in silver. But as Rick Rule told me, silver has been an outsized contributor to his net worth. I was chatting with Willem Middelkoop just yesterday, and he said he absolutely loves silver. It's a fantastic asset to own, could be a fantastic asset to trade, but if you're not patient, you're not going to benefit from the upside that comes from silver. Jeff?
Okay, being patient. Why are we patient? Oh, because COMEX price fixes it. Oh, nobody has recognized that COMEX is keeping silver down. Okay, I mean.
So I thought this girl was working out like crazy, but she wasn't. I met her yesterday at the gym, and I asked her, how do you look so great? Damn, girl, you have such a...
Great, but...
So be patient is still not answering the manipulation question. Why am I being patient? So again, be patient, be patient, be patient. But they don't understand the analytical part. They don't explain the why. Why do I have to be patient? Why isn't it going up? I've been patient for 10 years, waiting for gold and silver to move. Silver's at 23. It's being manipulated, yes, but they don't answer. So the one idiot says it's being manipulated because it's not in quarters anymore. The next idiot woman says, doesn't even say it's manipulated. She says it's manipulated, I think, but she doesn't really get into it. And then she says, well, I buy silver because she's trying to say because the fiat money is collapsing, but she doesn't really say this is, okay, so the fiat money collapses. Well, is silver going to go up then? Doesn't get into it, doesn't explain it, doesn't know. This third guy, he's talking about Rick Rude. Rick Rude's a Keynesian. We don't believe in him. And he says, just be patient. So I don't like this third guy at all. I don't like any of them, really. And, so why is silver going? And we don't really nobody has given us an answer. Because, or why, or how does it end? Or what should I do? The question is, should I buy silver if it's manipulated? So in other words, it's 23 an ounce. I want to buy silver, but it doesn't move. What should I do? And the answer hasn't been answered yet, but the answer is yes, because of brics, and comex will break up as we've discussed. And I'll go through Mark McGuire again today. So this is the problem. You can't get a straight answer to the question, but everybody loves these people like they know what they're talking about. One guy's calling everybody idiots. They're stupid. And yet, does he explain it? No. How smart is this guy? He doesn't explain it. So that's probably the biggest reason that I do the class. There's so many idiots out there, but the idiots are the ones that are talking. He's not teaching a class. He's talking about. If anybody listens to you, they would say you're the idiot. So really rough to, get a thing on it. Let's do a little bit more.
But if you're not patient, you're not going to benefit from the upside that comes from silver. Jeff knows quite well. In his presentations, he tells us how, and I've talked about this as well, how it goes through these long periods of doing absolutely nothing. And then it explodes. And if you think that you're going to jump right in right before it explodes, you're wrong. You need to be sitting there and
Well, it doesn't go through long periods. It's called paper gold. It's the derivatives. It's comex. It's price fixed. But does he even say that? Does he even understand it? Or does he think the paper price is the physical price? It goes through long periods where it doesn't move because it's derivative. It's price fixed. It's not physical silver price. It's not free market price. Do they mention that? No. Are they idiots? Sounds like they're idiots if they're the ones talking about it. You got to be patient because it'll go through long times where the price doesn't move. Yeah, because it's paper, silver, and gold, and it's not a real market. It's controlled by comex and London. And JP Morgan keeps doing derivatives to keep the price down. That's why. I mean, it blows my mind, and they want to call us stupid. How stupid they are. How do they not even know the difference between paper and physical is beyond me, yet nobody seems to say it. Kawasaki, what does he say? They took silver out of the coin in 1964. That's his explanation? Yes, it is manipulated, is what he said. But it's comex that manipulates it. So it's just a little bit more. It's hard to listen to these idiots.
I mean, as we know, silver equities have been challenged, not different from to accumulate these positions. You don't have to jump headstrong into a full position, accumulate, and over time you'll be
buy paper, buy stock. When the stock market crashes, how much is your silver stock going to be worth and your gold stock? You buy physical, but are they talking about it? No. I mean, this guy's talking about buy stocks. They're going to get crushed. All the foreigners are going to pull their money and the market's going to crash. Why would I want to buy a silver stock? So again, the information here is incredibly bad.
It's proven itself time and time again. And you don't have to take huge risks. I'll give an example. Wheaton Precious Metals in 2008, November 2008 to April of 2011.
Anybody who invested with us back then has to wait all the way until we build it to get the big return. But there are three numbers that I think are really important. And I'm sure all these smart people writing books have these numbers, but as someone who's going to make that medal, they're all waving around here. Someone has to make it. That's how it works. Yes, I don't have a coin, but she just loaned me. Here's this one. 51, 44, and 38. That's what I think about because I'm going to be in production in 26. Today we have 51 true silver projects in the world. In 2027, there's going to be 44. In 2028, there's going to be 38. every day as a miner.
Assuming that the economy is still there for him to mine. See, these people crack me up because they don't know what's going on. And so they don't sit there. They're just ignoring that the dollar's collapsing, the economy's collapsing. How are you going to have a silver mine? You won't have any money. So it's really unbelievable. Who's the stupid one? We're going to have all these mines like business as usual. Oh my God.
And then it's boring. And then what happens? All of a sudden, boom, the price goes. So it's boring, boom, repeatedly. There's been a dozen of these cycles over the years. I've documented these, and I think we're in a boring phase now, obviously. And at some point, this thing is going to ignite. And as like Peter said, you're going to have to be long before then, because if you wait, it'll be too late because the price will be taking off very quickly. And of course, premiums will be rising on top of bullion prices, and the equities will be rocketing higher as well.
So you've got 5 idiots on this board, and none of them understand brics. None of them understand comex or paper silver. How can this be that they're all so bright, smarter than we are, apparently? Silver just sits, and then explodes. Really? Is that what you think happens? Or maybe it's comex blocks it and keeps the price down because they're doing paper derivatives. It blows my mind that people don't. I mean, I guess we're all much smarter than the average Joe, and we can figure this out. And apparently nobody else can figure out paper from physical. Maybe it's because we do baseball cards. Maybe it's because we bet on sports and play poker. Maybe we figure those angles out. They're the ones who bet on Lamar. They're the ones who look at time of possession and turnovers to make bets. Maybe they're the ones who do the live bets. I don't know. It's very like, are you fucking with me that you don't know? You think it's boring because there's no physical market, and B, you think people aren't buying and selling? You don't think all the BRICS countries are buying gold and silver? You don't think China and India are buying silver as fast as? This is why we listen to Mark McGuire and Alligator and Egon, because they know what's going on. And this is why I get upset when these guys are on Mark McGuire's show. Lynette Zhang, she's on Mark McGuire's. I mean, she doesn't know anything. She's going to be appearing as a guest in Australia. I know more than her with just my pinky, right? Half my brain, I know more than her. And I can explain it. She's yet to understand paper, apparently. They all seem to not understand derivatives and comex. Are they serious? Oh, 1964, they took silver out of the coins. What does that got to do with the price of tea in China? We can buy silver ounces, which is what I did yesterday. I bought 10 silver ounces. In 1964, they took silver out of the quarter or half dollar. Who cares? I see a bigger breakdown that this guy goes through all these rolls of quarters to take his money to buy silver coins, and doesn't tell his mother, by the way, this is all silver, don't spend it. Like, what kind of communication? So he's clearly not stoic. If he was stoic, he'd go, hey, Mom, you know what? I got all these, just like all the kids that the baseball cards are thrown out. Hey, Mom, these are very valuable. Don't do anything without coming to me. Because they always did that when you moved. I know we had some baseball cards thrown out when we moved. Oh, I just threw them out, their cards. I just, like, do you want me to go through your stuff and go and just throw them out? Or do you want me to ask you? So I blame the parents, but I blame him for not telling his mom, hey, by the way, all these coins are there. So now I'm going to do a quick stoic. So I look at Daria and I send her my picture and I see she was on at 11:30. And my thought is, now, so here I'm being non-stoic. I'm going, why didn't she text me? If she was on and she saw that I sent the picture and said hello and how's the birthday going, and it's 12, it'll be 8 o'clock at night, Sunday night, why isn't she texting me, right? So she texted me late last night, early her morning, and now nothing. And you're like going, why isn't she? Well, it's her birthday and she's probably with friends. She is checking in on her WhatsApp, but why isn't she texting me? And that's my insecurity, right? So that's where I'm not being stoic. She will text me and she's probably just having a party or something, I guess. Her friend was going to come over and her daughter. So I assume she's having a birthday party. So she's probably busy and going, it's not looking at their point of view. It's only looking at your point of view. And that's a big stoic problem. You need to understand the other person's point of view to really, that's being stoic, going, what's going on? What's their point of view? What are they going through? Why aren't they doing what I'm expecting them to do? I'm expecting her to see it and text because that's what I do. But I don't know what's going on. I know it's her birthday. I know she's probably having fun, I guess. And anyway, I'm sure I'll get a text either tonight or tomorrow morning. But, and she'll say, this is what we did. But anyway, so that's being stoic, where the person isn't reacting to the way you're expecting it to be the way you would react to it. And that's the hardest part about life. Well, I would do this. I would text. If you texted me, I would text you back. So right now, if Jenna or Daria texted me right now, I would text them right back. That's what I would do. But that doesn't mean that's what they would do. So you must understand that. So you must look at it from that point of view where you go crazy. You want to have a friend or a relationship because you'll be upset. Why didn't you text me? Then it's a control issue and you don't want to control them. Anyway, let's listen to a little bit more. Well, let's look at some comments. Biggest mistake I made was getting into the mining stocks. Biggest mistake I made was getting into the mining stocks. I should have stuck with the physical metals. I did not understand the extent of the manipulation and rigging in the markets and the Fed. Gold is money. Well, it's not even manipulation in the market, but wait till the market crashes. So that's why you're in physical. Even though they're manipulating the price of the physical, it won't last. Let's see the replies. Another gold bug myth. Forget this manipulation stuff. Silver is being produced as an industrial metal. The gold miners should be traded only, not long-term holds. Silver and gold stocks will move higher as the precious metals. Be patient. Fiat currency is money. No, it's not. Silver is the future. Gold and silver on sale again today. Thank you, JP Morgan. There's a guy that understands that's the manipulation. Great to see all my favorites together. Thank you. Great panel and learned a few things. Awesome stuff. negative. What I like so much about Robert is his cut to the chase and gets to the heart of the problems. Yeah, really answered it good. Silver is heavily manipulated. Absolutely. Let's look at the replies. No more than any other market, another gold bug myth for when their predictions are wrong, they blame others for. See, this is the problem. These guys, they don't understand it, but they answer the question like that, a gold bug myth. Well, it's obvious that comex is manipulating them with derivatives, but he doesn't understand that, so he can't say that, right? No, it's literally a fact. Okay, so here's somebody responding. No, it's literally a fact. If you knew anything about gold and silver, 2 JP Morgan traders were just sent to prison for silver manipulation. Maybe get out from under your rock. Very good response. Claiming that stuff is a myth is not an argument. No plan is foolproof. I don't know what that means. Let's go one more. How is silver manipulated, Kawasaki? Let me tell you a story about my rich father. I went to college, and when I returned, my mom had thrown all my comics away. I had the first edition and subsequent issues of all Marvel comics. I wait every month for the new ones to come out. I've had many other comics also. When the price jumps, where will we be able to sell it? Coin shops are not going to be able to handle customers bringing thousands of ounces of $100 an ounce. Well, why not? They buy gold. So here's my argument, right? So if I take my gold ounce that I have, my Eagle, it's $2,000 they'll give me. They have the $2,000. I've seen them. I see the coins, right? Here's my coins right here. So what are these? These are this is my coin shop, right? Look what he's got. He's got an ounce of gold, a half ounce, 2/4, 2 half-ounce maple leafs in an ounce, some 1/10 of an ounce, some gold bars, and I don't know what these are. So can you explain to me? He got them because people brought them in. So he gave you $2,000 for this, and he gave you $1,000 for that, and $500 for these, and $1,100 for the halves, and $2,000 for that. So he's got $2,000. So please explain to me why, if people bring in silver at 100 an ounce, he's not going to buy them. You got to understand the mentality. Hey, Bobby Bo, how are you? No, these are, when I went to the coin shop yesterday morning, what he had. I ended up taking this 1/4 ounce. That's what I took. Do you ever see these, Bobby Bo? Silver bullets? People, I apparently buy them. I mean, for the silver, I guess. I don't know how much silver's in them, but instead of getting a coin, you can get silver bullets. It's crazy. Here's the silver he had yesterday. So I took 10 buffaloes, these, and the 1/4 ounce. So that's what I got yesterday. 1/4 ounce, 10. Now I got 610 ounces. I was going to go buy more, but I couldn't resist. The 1/4 ounce was $5.50. He's keeping it at $5.50. He keeps his 1/10 of an ounce at $2.50. So I don't buy the 1/10 of an ounce unless I buy a maple leaf, but I'd rather buy the 1/4. And I, so I was going to buy 20 ounces of silver, which would have been, it was $25.50. So I was listening to this idiot talk about the premium, and there's no premium there. So those are a lot less than an ounce. The bullets, I don't know. I don't know the weight on them. I didn't ask them. I just thought they were cute. Probably less, probably half ounces. Maybe I should start buying 1/4 ounce. No, I wouldn't. No, I think you're fine with the now. I don't even know where you find 1/4 ounce silver. But if you're talking gold, yes, you should be buying gold. Absolutely. And they're $5.50, which is that. So like I said, I was going to buy, well, this is what I ended up buying. So I bought the quarter ounce, and then I bought 10 silvers. So that's what I bought yesterday. So I was going to buy 20 silvers. 20 silvers, it was $25.50, would have been $500 some dollars. And so I said to myself, well, let's buy the quarter ounce and get 10, because I still want gold, because I got 610 ounces. It's hard to pass that up. But I do recommend it, because when gold goes through the roof, and we'll listen to Mark McGuire again. So I was showing these idiots.
What does your son do?
He says he sells clouds.
Have you ever seen these clouds?
I would rather take my chances with that, which is proven valuable, durable, liquid, and desirable for thousands
of bullion prices, and the equities will be
value of an asset or any instrument.
See, these idiots are on the show, and they're all, as I was saying, these are your people.
About the spot market, and especially,
and they can't answer the question asked is silver manipulated? And Kawasaki had no. He said I bought coins when they were 1964. They were silver, and then they weren't. I don't know what kind of answer that was. And she's sitting there. Nobody's mentioning brics. Nobody mentions Comex or JP Morgan. And these people are so stupid. And that's my point. So I said I can't listen to them. And then that's why I listened to Mark McGuire and Alligator. So I think I showed you Mark McGuire, but we can go through that again. There was an Egon one. I think I showed a little bit of Egon yesterday. He was talking to some non-finance person why you should invest in gold, and it was pretty good, but there wasn't much to it. We can get into that, but again, Mark McGuire really nailed it. But let's do Mark.
It's too late. The physical. Of which over 20% of which was added in last week alone, commodity trading advisors have dumped in excess of 3 billion of gold ETFs into an over 4 billion stampede. I think it's closer to 5 billion stampede into the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, this helps explain the really strange counterintuitive sideways action when gold demand. Now, given the CTAs are the recipients of around 75% or of all the COMEX gold open interest that segues into these ETF open interest numbers, and which was, don't forget, we had Bloomberg attested to this. Remember, they noted the same group of specs control similar concentration in the oil markets. So we're talking about 75, possibly 80%. This FOMO-driven hot money rotation of COMEX gold market open interest into Bitcoin has, at the margin, changed the COMEX operating dynamics. Yet, so far, this has largely flown under the radar. And there are two very good reasons. Firstly, this exit of synthetic gold open interest into the Bitcoin ETFs is very good news for the officially intervened COMEX gold market. So let's dig into that. Firstly, this FOMO frenzy to fund this Bitcoin ETF and to get a piece of the action is evidencing an auditable outflow of a large swath of, don't forget, 96% leveraged paper market COMEX supply, which incrementally reduces the bandwidth for officials to add and remove sufficient conjured up supply that is needed to lead an ever decreasing pack of led by those momentum CTAs, which they need to gain enough traction to really effectively intervene in the officially sanctioned COMEX-centric gold dollar price setting process.
So why didn't these other morons, Kawasaki and Lynette and the third guy, why didn't they say that? Why didn't they say COMEX controls it, and that's why it's manipulated, and that's why silver sits at 22, 23, 24? I assume they don't know. So should we call them idiots like they called us idiots? See, this is the point. That's why silver hasn't moved. It's being held down. It is money. It's not to do with they make solar panels with it or batteries or anything else. That is not, that doesn't matter. You don't keep silver down because of that. So it's really, this is why I have a hard time. You listen to that, it's crystal clear. COMEX, you've got derivatives, which are paper, keeping the price down. Because that's what JP Morgan and China want. They want to buy, so they keep the price down. Now they're all running to Bitcoin, which is why we're so happy that now COMEX basically is out of gold and silver. We'll get a physical price, which will be many, many times higher. But when you listen to Lamette and Robert Kawasaki and these other guys, did they say that? They said be patient. You should be patient. You got to be patient with silver. It will explode. They don't have a clue when or why. They don't understand. It's paper derivative silver, not free market silver. They missed the whole concept. And they missed that brics is blowing it up and Bitcoin's blowing it up. And now we're going to see the rise, which is why I went yesterday to the store to get my 1/4 ounce and my 10 silvers. And that's really what is happening. So how do we listen to Kawasaki and the woman? See that, the woman says, well, all the fiat currencies are going out and buy physical. So we give her some credit, but she totally doesn't understand it's paper priced. She thinks this is the price, and be patient, it'll go up. And they all think that. And none of them understand COMEX. How do you do what they do? Have a little show and have a coin shop, talk about gold and silver, and miss the most basic principle that it's not free market and it's paper. How do you miss that? What is that? Why should you listen to these people? This is what bothers me, is they're giving you bad information. I don't want that. That's why I don't want people giving picks out here. Unless you can explain the pick to me, I don't want to hear Baltimore is going to beat KC because it's manipulated or it's inside information. Get the fuck on somebody else's channel. I don't need that bad traffic. I need the good traffic. So yeah, Bobby Bo, I would recommend the 1/4 ounces and the 1/2 ounces. Ounces are better. I don't know how much you have, and buy more silver. I'd say we got a month, maybe. Now that this has happened and COMEX is gone, it'll take a little bit of time, but you're not going to. So in other words, we probably won't see this drop, silver go down to 22. We'll probably see it just go. And gold went up $15 on Friday. We'll probably see it just go because it really, if they're not going to short it, you won't get the drops. Presser needs to get on those shows and let these guys. I've been trying, Bobby Bo. I don't know that. I mean, my only recourse is to do this, right? Do our show, and then hope somebody sees it and then says, "Yeah, we got to get the professor on." Because I what have I done? I've emailed Mark McGuire, nothing. I emailed that Liberty and finance guy with the glasses, Duncan, whatever. He doesn't even respond. Okay, fine, dude. I don't need, see, this is what I do being stoic is I'll do my own show then. Again, I can't force them, put me on, and I can't force them to contact me. All I can do is say, hey guys, give them an email. I'll be happy to be on your show and explain what's really going on. And nobody responds. Probably because if they come on Teaser King, they think I'm a football handicapper. What can I know about gold and silver and economics? I got two sides. I got the football side and I got the masters in economics and gold. So they don't, I guess they can't do two things at once, but I can. Anyway.
Now, to put the implications of this outflow of open interest into context, as we highlighted in our last episode,
We're still talking
comex.
comex.
To the fact that at its peak in 2020, close to 800,000 lots of open interest of chips were floating around, loaned by the house, the speculators, and that represented about 80 million ounces, 2,500 tons, if you remember, but 96% unbacked paper gold warrants, pieces of paper that were made available to be traded every day. You only needed 4% to actually trade that kind of volume. And that represented all of the new gold mined every year being issued and controlled by the casino every single day. However, fast forward since our last episode, as of yesterday, well, actually, as of Friday, we're recording this episode on Wednesday ahead of FOMC minutes. Under 407,000 lots of open interest of chips remain in play. That's plus or minus 40 million ounces, not the 80 million ounces. And that really meaning very close to half of all the comex gold speculators have bailed out for one reason or another, and liquidity providers report this notably accelerated following the Bitcoin ETF launch. So secondly, and even more importantly, given the remaining inflows and outflows of comex open interest are indirectly interchangeable with the gold ETFs, this is where it gets really interesting. Many institutional CTAs do not have a mandate to directly trade gold, or even for that matter, in many instances, gold futures, with the majority of this group really restricted to trading ETF shares so as to gain exposure to gold, silver, oil, etc. Now we see this fickle group of traders controlling, as I say, around 75% of all gold and silver open interest, switching horses into trading the ETF shares of Bitcoin. Now, this outflow of gold market open interest into dollar competing Bitcoin, and don't clock this, dollar competing Bitcoin, is drawing the unwanted attention of officials who for the last over 50 years have been actively intervening in the FX gold markets against the dollar and using the bandwidth generated by these captive, useful CTA fools operating in the siloed casino wars to add sufficient gold supply to slow down the naturally rising gold price against the debasing dollar, to create enough synthetic flywheel, basically. Now, this switch of official focus is not yet realized by gold market technical analysts, relying on historically anchored price extensions, which I continue to see them trying to extrapolate.
First off, if you haven't made money with AI yet, don't worry.
This is a weird looking guy. He scares me.
Anchored price extensions, which I continue to see them trying to extrapolate.
No, Andrew, you just
All right, so let's go to silver because we just enjoy hearing about the silver.
I saved it the last. This is mega. I mean, mega. And you may have noticed that although somewhat synthetically subdued, the same actors' footprints in silver really has evidence silver leading the way higher for gold. And this is because gold rising against the dollar has been the official's intervention focus. But the necessary, as we say, the necessary CTA open interest required to offset.
Doesn't he look really weird? Like, am I going to buy something because he's there?
So yes, Shane, on to silver. Silver, my friend, outside of the rigged casino bubble, we are now absolutely certain that that silver is coiling for an extremely a very large move, and
That'll make you happy, Bobby.
Dips in silver are going to be jumped on by the pit managers. Now, we talked about massive Indian silver demand in our last few episodes, but what happened over the last few days is a doozy. This week, silver wholesale demand has reached unprecedented wholesale demand levels. And the dot-chasing CTA have not cottoned onto it yet. I can see that going on now. And this is mind-blowing stuff. But here's the fact. European refiners have all forward production sold out at the moment. And I'm talking about wholesale supply, wholesale bar prices. And it's all sold out at spot prices. And they're searching for more supply from any source they can. And we're all getting phone calls from refineries for any size.
Here it comes, Bobby.
So strong is the Indian demand that they now could readily absorb over 2,000 tons at spot prices, which will not be possible to find at current spot prices. That is how strong it is. As the last refiner said to us this morning, if I could fill 2,000 tons now. And in an attempt to play defense, the so-called LBMA, London Professional Trade, remember we looked at them, how these guys operate. We did a whole episode pretty much on these guys. They're refusing to deliver wholesale bars. They have the bullion. They refuse to deliver these wholesale bars in any size at current prices, leaving every other known source dry. Now, they'll make sure Samsung, Apple, etc., Kia and these guys get their silver. But that is purely to avoid a race for everyone to come after the same amount of irretrievable bullion at this point. What it would do is they would come in, and they don't care about spot. They would just pay whatever it costs to get that assembly line running. So bottom line, silver looks ready to make a very, very strong move higher. This is unprecedented. And so sure, what timing on it? Well, I mean, we have options. We have got FOMC today. So there's always some gaining. Maybe we see this rally after options expiry next Monday, or first delivery notice a couple of days later, or even rollover and delivery. And then, of course, because then the contract then rolls over to the Bay contract. I have a strong feeling that there's going to be so much demand. They're going to be coming into the comex and say, "This is the only source of where it's the only source of where you can actually take delivery of physical bullion." And of course, they're going to do this. And insiders are going to be forced, though, to ring the register on the CTAs who've been lured into betting against silver above 23, and they've been put into selling it above 24, and they have massive bets they've made against 25. I'd say, Shane, watch out above, my friend. Now we've actually also evidenced the SLV ETF, the silver ETF, being now turned upon, tapped on for supply. Well, you know where this is leading, guys.
Yeah, we got it, Mark. Strong demand, unwillingness to sell because it's only at $23 an ounce. The light bulb finally went on to the suppliers going, why the fuck should I sell at 23? I have huge demand from India and all these companies who need silver, and I'm the only one with it. And I don't like the 23 price. They'll sell it at what? They can sell it at whatever they want. The demand is there to keep running and manufacturing their goods, right? I can't sell Coke if I don't have bottles. So I need to buy bottles, and whatever it costs, I'm going to buy because I got to get my Coke to the grocery store, right? And that's what it is. They need the silver to complete whatever it is they're making, batteries or solars or cell phones or whatever. And I got to buy, and I'm not going to let you have it at 23. Fuck you. I want whatever. He can get 200 an ounce if he wants, because they must pay it. And now here we go. And the other thing, the CTAs are the idiots doing the derivatives lower. So in Trading Places, they're betting that silver will go under 23 and 24 and 25, as he says. They're all betting against silver. They're all hoping it goes down. And if these guys finally go and say, I want $50 an ounce for it, they all lose their ass. And that's what's going to happen. These guys are going to lose millions and billions of dollars betting against. It's like betting against Mahomes. Are you out of your fucking mind? Why would you bet against Mahomes? And he wins and you lose. And they're betting against silver, or that silver would go down, but it's so short and the demand's so used by the Indians and some of these companies that the demand's so strong, they don't have the supply. So the supply goes up, right? So if you want this Mahomes card and there's only 50 of them and there's 500 people that want it, the price goes up because we only got 50 of them. So 50 can get it, which means they have to outbid each other. That's what we want. It's a nice bidding war, which is why we get limited cards, right? So that's what's happening with silver. So that's very good news. That's why I went out and bought 10. So I got 10 ounces and I bought a quarter ounce of gold because I couldn't resist myself. So I was going to buy 20, as I said, 20 or 30 ounces of silver. And it would have been, $25.50 an ounce. So it's $250. And it's a joke. And I showed this video to the owner and I says, you got to watch this. Silver's about to go to the moon. You better go take 20, 50 ounces, put it in your safe. Don't sell it all. Because that's what he does. And so I'm telling him not to do that. And then you've got these idiots. There was one, maybe I didn't watch it yet. Anyway, there was one thing on the Yankee Doodle Dandy guy worried about silver being confiscated, which won't happen. We heard Mark McGuire, they'll never do that. See, I don't like when they even bring it up. It's not, they're not going to do it, but why are you bringing it up that they could? Or, just some really stupid thoughts. So I don't even want to get into those. There was something else. But the Yankee, that's why some of these silver guys, it's hard to watch. They don't really understand paper. The one guy, Yankee Doodle Dandy guy, says he doesn't buy silver when it hits $50 an ounce because he doesn't trust that it will go down to 20 because he doesn't understand comex dropped it. But if comex is out, it's not going back to 20, it's going to 500. And he doesn't get it. So what are you going to do? Get out of it'll finally go up and he'll get out at 50. He won't buy it. And keep in mind, so this is my point. The guys buy the gold at 2,000 an ounce, as I was saying. Why wouldn't they buy the silver at 50 or 100? It's the same thing. They buy it and then they sell it back. So if the frenzy's going, they buy it for 100, they're going to sell it for 110. That's what they do. They buy the gold for 2,000. They sell it. I come in, I get it for 2,100. They buy gold and then they sell it. So why wouldn't they buy silver? And I would not think that everybody and their mother will come in at $100 silver, because if they why would you sell it at 100? It's finally going. To quote Bobby, it would be like he makes a live bet. He bets Kansas City to win, and then they go up, and then he makes a live bet that they win. Well, why? You've got Mahomes. Why would you bet the Niners? And that, so if silver goes to $100 an ounce, why would you sell it? It's going now. This is what we want. Oh, it won't stay. Why won't it stay? It's going to the roof. Now that comex is off and the demand's there, why would you sell it at 100? And believe me, it ain't going to stay at 100. It's going to go boom. To quote Luke, I don't think it's going to go 50, 60, 70, 80. I think it's going to go 50, 100, 300, 500, because the frenzy will hit and the demand will be so huge, the industrial side, but the money side too. See, it's a double header. Yeah, people need it for the batteries and the phones and the electric batteries and the cars and the solar, but they also, it's money. And don't forget that. So the people like us who want it for the money will also come in and create this huge demand for it. Bobby Bo, the one guy I know through a social circle, said that Bobby Bo is full of shit for recommending him to buy metals. YouTube might have blocked my last comment. So I see those two. Is that your last comment? Full of shit? No, I think you can swear here. God knows I swear. The only thing I've heard from YouTube, and you know how I just tell them to fuck off and everything. I don't tell YouTube to, but I do, is when I showed that one video of the Cyber Queen and they blocked me because it was like, what's the word? I couldn't do it. It was copyrighted. That's the only thing. I'd never heard saying comex, saying Hitler, saying any of that. I've never been blocked. I don't know if these guys have trouble with comex, saying comex. That's why they don't say it. Maybe they can't. I don't know. I'll tell them to fuck off. I'm going to say it anyway. But okay, so the one guy I know through a social circle said that Bobby Bo is full of shit for recommending him to buy metals. And so did you talk to this guy, or he says this behind your back? Did you tell him to watch our class? Or does he not have balls to talk to you face to face? Which sounds like it. He's probably... So if you can identify him, does he talk to you face to face? Or is he like the guys in the hot tub where they don't really, they listen and then they turn away? Now is the time you need to be stoic, Bobby Bo, and it's really hard you have to know your audience if you can talk precious metals with them, because most people are very sensitive that they're idiots. Right? If you don't understand it, it's very hard to explain what it is. You have to go all the way back to this is you basically need to explain Titanic to them. You have to explain that this is worthless and you're getting out of this, and that they can't print precious metals, right? Precious metals can't be printed. They can't be inflated. This is inflated with the value of zero right now. Basically, this is worthless. That's why brics they're all buying gold, the central banks. So because you got to get out of this, where do you go? And you can't go into any other currency. You can't go into Swiss francs or British pounds or euros or yen or yuan or rubles. You can't go into another currency. So your only other place to go is gold and silver, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we don't know what it is, but it's not cash, and we're not sure it's an asset because we don't know what it is, because you can't hold it, right? I can hold Mahomes. Well, I can hold the Bobby Bo card. I have it. It's mine. I got it in my hand. Nobody can say it's worthless, right? We need you to go back and hit another 400 or 500 home runs, though, Bobby Bo, but nobody can say it's worthless. I have it in my hands. What is Bitcoin? You don't have it in your hands. We don't know what it is. And now that they're doing ETFs, there goes it'll never go over 25,000. He knows one of my friends really well, and he wasn't challenging me to fight necessarily. It was just being stupid and was drinking, talking out of his ass. So he knows one of your friends, and did he talk to you? He was saying, my money is my savings, exactly where I can see it. Does he not? So show him this. So I bought the 1/4 ounce. What is, he can't see it? He can't hold it? I mean, if you buy it, you get the coin. What part of that is he not getting? And where's his money? My money is my savings, exactly where I can see it. Does he realize the banks are going out? Does he realize that this is going to zero and this is going to the moon? Does he get that concept? He doesn't get the concept that this is worthless. So he saved his money like a good little boy, and he's got 500 grand in the bank, which he thinks is worth 500 grand, which we know is worth nothing. This is on its way being manipulated, but now it looks like it's over with the Bitcoin ETF and the COMEX gang going to Bitcoin. This we know has value, and we know it's there. Or how about this? We know this has value. We know it's cheap going up, as we just surmised. At what part of this can he not hold? I just bought this. At what part of this does he not understand? So I have 10 ounces of silver and a 1/4 ounce of gold. What does he not think you can hold that and touch it? And by the way, nobody can say it's worth zero, where we all know what's going to happen to this. We know as soon as brics comes out, this is gone. This is worthless. The only thing with value would be gold and silver. But see, he can't understand what he's holding is an illusion. He's holding zero. Dollars are zero. Go get your money out of the bank. The banks are about to crash March 11th because of the repo, where everybody is repossessing cars and houses because people can't afford them. Now, hopefully you're in a fixed rate and it really doesn't bother you, but if you're in a variable rate, you're fucked because they're going to go up again. He was saying, my money is my savings. He said it in a non-confrontational way, but was serious in believing the metals are no good. $35 trillion debt. Does he understand nobody wants our money because they're afraid they won't get paid back? The debt's like a bond. So there's $35 trillion that we owe to other countries because they bought our bonds. Does he understand that? Does he understand that worthless? So I get he's a non-confrontational guy, but he's just showing he's ignorant. He's showing that he's not stoic, and he won't trust your. He's not giving you any like, you know what you're talking about, right? He doesn't trust you. He trusts himself for some reason. The dollar won't go out. Well, it's already gone out. It's already worthless. What does he mean it won't go out? Did you introduce him to the Romans and say, I bet the Romans thought the same thing when they were in the Roman Empire, that they would not go out? That's the best line to use, Bobby, is the Romans, because everybody knows the Romans, and yet they went out. Does he not think the money goes out? Yeah, I don't hang out with that guy. I wonder why. Well, and this is the problem. Most of these people, they don't get it, but they won't listen. In other words, I would have said, Bobby, why are you saying this? Or why do you think that? And then you could have explained the Titanic and gold and the inflation and the debt. And again, but it's all stuff he doesn't understand. So this is the problem you have is at least they're talking about it. At least your family's saying, hey, Bobby's buying gold and silver. My interest would be why. If I don't know, I'm going to ask, well, why are you buying it? Just like one guy said, I like Baltimore over Kansas City. He says, I got inside information Baltimore's going to beat them. And my answer was why? Because unless Mahomes switched teams, Mahomes ain't losing. So how are you? What are your points that I should take? But I do ask the question, right? I try to be intelligent to see, well, what am I missing? Now, this guy's probably not an economist. Oh, Bobby, he said, Bobby, you need to stop with the conspiracy theories. What's the conspiracy? What's the theory? I love that. What does that even mean? It's not a conspiracy. We're not. I'm frozen. Sorry. Come on. We're not. This isn't a conspiracy. I don't even know what the conspiracy would be. What, the dollar's going out is a conspiracy that the idiots in charge are printing the money to zero, trillions and trillions of dollars, and $35 trillion debt. How is that a conspiracy? That's a fact. That's what it's at. We are just saying it can't go on, and the only way out is the boat is sinking. So is the Titanic a conspiracy that it hit the iceberg, the water's coming in, so you're saying let's get off the Titanic, and he's, oh, Bobby, that's a conspiracy theory. It's unsinkable. It'll never sink. Yeah, but the water's filling the boat pretty quick. I think it's not a conspiracy. The only thing that idiot knows about is junk food and craft beer. Yeah, and that's where you got to be stoic, and he's vampiring you, and you can't get bothered by it, and you just walk away. There was one stoic one, and it says that stoic people like us really don't have a lot of friends because most of the people we meet are idiots, and we don't want to be vampired, and we don't want to hang out with idiots. So in a sense, we're really looking for other stoics out there. So that's why I'm with Jenna is very stoic, and I think Daria is, although she frustrates me. Like, where are you today? It's your birthday. I sent her like a happy birthday, Daria, from last year, and then a little huggy bear, and she said thank you. And okay, how was your day? How was the party or whatever you did? So I sent her $100 and she said I'm going to buy food. And okay, so she's obviously with her friends, but I'm being stoic. Going, where the fuck? Why aren't you texting me? And I notice that's what people say when they're too lazy to analyze it. They just say conspiracy theory. But these are the people we need to stay away from. Those people are why I don't talk in the pool or in the hot tub anymore. I don't even talk to them. I just sit there and I do my little back exercises and I relax and I think about my girls and that's it. I really don't. I might think about gold and silver or when comex is falling down, but I really don't even have a conversation. There's nothing to talk about. I don't want it. There's no conversation worth having. Who am I going to talk to? This is what you'll figure out, Bobby, is you'll just start bringing up something and you'll hear their answers and their response and you just walk away. You're going, that's where I'm at. These people are too stupid to try to have this conversation with. There's a guy, I'm sitting there being stoic and I'm drying. You know how they have the spinners? You put your bathing suit in, you push the thing and it dries your suit. So I'm there and some guy comes up to me, I don't know, near age. And he says, well, what's in your mind? And my answer was, you couldn't deal with my mind. I am on such a higher level than you. It would take you can't get to my level is what I told him. And he looked at me all upset, and I said, why should I talk? What am I going to talk to you about? Oh, gold. And he disagrees. And then we have a disagreement. I don't want to go there, and I don't want to prove it. There's nothing I'm going to say to this guy. So I don't even want to have the conversation. So I tell him the truth. You're not at my level. And he gets upset, and I just laugh. Going, see, you're not at my level. If you're at my level, you would understand. They're too lazy to properly think things through and just rather watch the news and do what they say. Yeah, well, they're really not trained. There's a comment that Kawasaki says. He says, people are stupid. Why would you say that? People aren't stupid. They don't really know what to look for. Now, the girl in Germany who was from Odessa, that was Natasha's friend. Jenna's friend's Natasha. She's Natasha's friend. And she wanted to know about gold. And she said, how do you know all about this? I says, well, I got a master's, because she's trying to understand it. So on one hand, she's actually doing exactly what you're saying. She's trying to understand it and dig in and find things, but it's really hard to find things on Austrian economics, on gold and everything else, because even when I'm looking, they're painting the whole thing about, don't buy ETFs or buy gold stocks, or they don't tell you to buy physical, but all the central banks are buying physical, and they're buying they're 400-ton bars is what I saw. So this bar is 275 pounds, is 400 ounces. So let me show you this. I stumbled on this yesterday. Anyway, it was a big bar. Let me see if I can find it. So I was watching some gold thing, and they showed this. So here's the gold bar I was talking about. This gold bar is pounds and costs like $1 billion. I mean, this is what you need, Bobby. Get a couple of these and you'll be fine. Problem is, if me and you got it, I don't know what the point is. What are we gonna? How are we gonna spend it, right? Yeah, I want to sell my gold bar that's worth $1 billion. So that's what the banks do. But let's see, where did I just put that? Now here's really good news. Zimbabwe will attempt to establish gold-backed currency, February 13th. So another black swan, good news for us. Zimbabwe's government said Monday it is introducing a gold-backed currency to replace the country's nearly worthless dollar, which most businesses have shunned, preferring the U.S. dollar or South African rand. Minister of Finance, told reporters that Zimbabwe was making the move to ensure sustained growth. Really, this is a quest for currency stability, what has emerged over the years is the US dollar being the most dominant. Going forward, we want to make sure that the growth we have achieved so far, which is very strong, is maintained and even increased. Oh, so if I have gold, I get growth. If I don't, it's worthless. So this is their finance minister. Hopefully he remains alive, because I know how the US wants to kill everybody who does this. But so show this to your friend, right? Zimbabwe will attempt to establish gold back. Show this to your friend and see what he thinks about that. The Zimbabwe dollar is worthless and nobody wants it. How much longer do you think that's going to say the US dollar is worthless and nobody wants it? That's what inflation does. It destroys your value. And so Zimbabwe is going to the gold-backed currency. I couldn't be happier. Then I was watching this one. This was very exciting. Understanding the proposed currency, the BRICS currency backed by gold represents a departure from traditional fiat currencies. Unlike fiat currencies, which derive their value from government declaration, a gold-backed currency draws its value from an underlying precious metal. They are saying the BRICS currency backed by gold. They're already saying it's backed by gold. Oh my God, we're in for a treat. I mean, we'll all retire because you don't have to. When the gold goes, we won't have to work. My family tends to do what I am being quiet when I am being quiet and not engaging in meaningless chit chat BS. At least she's interested in learning about, so I respect that, unlike these other fools who just talk shit about it and remain close. And they talk shit about you, which is what is not fair. You took the time to learn, you come to class, you ask questions, and you understand what's going on. And I'm good at explaining. And so you're learning and you're smart enough to learn. And they don't even want to hear it. You know, that's what gets me, is they don't even want to hear it. I mean, it just blows my mind that you don't want to understand what's going on. Why do you not want to? That's why they listen to Robert Kawasaki, listen to him say, I know everything. Or I listen to Rick Rude, or I listen to Peter Schiff, and I know everything because I listen to them. And they make up their mind. I assume they make up their mind listening to one guy who doesn't even know what they're talking about. And they don't want to get the truth and get to the real information. And I don't even know if they listen to like Peter Schiff or Schechtman or those idiots. They might, or they might not. They might just listen to the news, listen to Fox News or CNN, the communist news network, and hear what they say. Oh, we're winning the war. The Ukraine's winning the war in Russia. And it's like, the score is 72-0. Russia's winning. What are you talking about? So that's the other part. And that's what I try to impress on you. It's not only that you're listening, it's who are you listening to? You've got to listen to the right person. So if I'm not on and you want to listen to one of these bubbleheads, please be careful. Lynette Zing and Kawasaki and Schiff don't know, and Rick Rude, they don't know what they're talking about. They're Keynesians, half of them, or the other half just they don't know. Robert Kawasaki is not an economist. Lynette Zing's not an economist. They're salesmen. And that's what you got to understand. If you go to a stockbroker or a financial planner for your money, they are salesmen who get money, who make money. Their business is to get you in a commissionable paper asset. Buy stocks, buy a bond, buy an annuity. I'm at the bank, buy an annuity. Why is he telling me to buy an annuity? Because he gets commission on it. Not for me. Well, I can get you 9%. I go, but it's still paper, right? It'll be worthless. I don't want to be in paper. I want to get off the Titanic, please, and into the gold boat. So I'm going to buy gold because I don't want to be on the Titanic. I want to get off of all paper. So don't, but he doesn't make commission on gold. He's not going to tell you. So if you ask a financial advisor, a financial planner, a stockbroker, one of these retirement guys, you're going to be attacked on Wall Street. Your 60,000 is going to go to zero. That's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get made off, because that's where they make their money, is by selling you something that they get commission on. That's the problem, right? You want to get made off? Listen to these people and stay in paper. You want to survive? You buy gold and silver. You don't listen to me. I'm just telling you to buy it, but I don't get commission on it. That's the whole point. You go, you buy the gold and silver, you put it in your safe, put it under your bed, sleep with it, whatever you want to do with it. You'll never have the bank calling you, oh yeah, your Bobby, your gold and silver is worthless. You'll never, ever, it's impossible to hear it. And you see the demand, all the demand for silver and gold. There's no fucking way. I mean, it's going to go to the moon, not go down. It can't go to zero. It has demand. It has a market. 72 on the ad, 72-0, and rest is at first and goal again. Yeah. I heard in the Ukraine army now is 75-year-old men and 14-year-old boys. They're just getting anybody off the street. It's now a what do you call it? Martial law, where the military is taken over. So there's no more government. It's the military running the Ukraine. And if they see a boy out there, they kidnap him, put a uniform on him, and say, go fight. And, that's another reason I don't go there. Yeah, Jenna wants me there, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. Now I'll go to Russia, and apparently you can go to Russia now. So I saw where you can get a visa, not too difficult, and you can fly there. There are some flights there, so I could go to St. Pete. I think it started like in the summer, August or September, where they started a little bit of flying, and you can get the visa and come there. And you're not at war. You're doing the firing. You're not getting fired on. So I feel better about that. I'm still waiting. Are we going to Turkey? Are we going to St. Pete? This will be interesting, but we will see. And Ukraine has Ooglia Booglia as their only remaining. Yeah, that's about it. What's with this NLI? So Cameron Ward, the Washington State quarterback, who's not very good, is going to another school and getting paid. And why did Gabriel leave Oklahoma to go to Oregon? Did Oklahoma not want to pay him? I find that hard to believe. So Oregon paid more? What is going on in college football that they're paying this kind of money? People aren't going in the draft because they can make more money staying in college. So if I'm the NFL, aren't I a little bit pissed? Because now it's driving my cost up, because I got to pay these guys more, because if I want to get them, I got to start competing with colleges who are not professional. They're amateurs. This whole thing is fucking ridiculous. I don't even want to watch it anymore. Did Ooglia Booga transfer? I think he did, because the Oregon State coach left. I thought he did, but I'm not sure. Gabriel went to Oregon, so he did great at Oklahoma, and then Bo Nix leaves, and now he transferred to Oregon. I couldn't believe it. I was really surprised by that. I'm curious what Alabama does. I thought they got a 5-star quarterback who was coming this year. Now you got a real coach who really understands offense. The ironic part is the offensive coordinator at Washington went with the coach, and now he's the head coach of Seattle. But the problem is the head coach is like Andy Reid. He's the offensive coordinator. Don't kid yourself. Mahomes and Andy Reid are the offensive coordinators at Kansas City. So you got the coach from Washington is the offensive coordinator. So now at Seattle, like, you've got the offensive coordinator, but he's really not, like, he knows a little bit, but how much was Penix versus how much was the coach, got the right offense for him. So I can see, if I'm Seattle and I got this guy, trading Geno Smith and trading Smith Najima because he sucks, and getting Penix. And then you got the offensive coordinator. That would be a wise move by Seattle because they could, if they had Penix with Metcalf and Lockett, they would really be dynamic. Much better than with Geno Smith. So this would be a curious thing, but it's like I was saying, I used to do trend analysis. You can't do trend analysis in college football anymore or pro football because everybody's changing. It's insane, all the change going on. The coaches, the quarterbacks. This is a fucking nightmare. Bobby Bow feels like that kid has been in school for 10 years at 10. Well, he was at UCF for a couple years, and then he went to Oklahoma there a couple years. So this is his 5th or 6th year. Wow. So Washington is going to suck. They lost Penix, head coach, and offensive coordinator just like that. I don't remember who their new head coach was. I don't think he was too bad, but I don't recall. Oregon, you got a bad coach. He wants to go for it on 4th down. I was watching a couple of highlights on YouTube, so I could watch some football yesterday. And I was watching. You'll love this game, Bobby. I was watching the Seattle Richard Sherman game against Frisco, and it's so perfect to what we talk about. In the beginning, Colin Kaepernick's running around for 20-yard gains and 10-yard gains. Then he fumbles twice and throws 3 interceptions, especially the last one to Richard Sherman, and they lose. But in the game, they never went on 4th. They kicked field goals. It's like, somebody, I think Seattle had the ball, 4th and 2 at the 2, kicked the field goal, right? Coach Pete kicked the field goal. The Niners kicked the field goal. It was just amazing. And Kaepernick does the runs, and then the next thing you know, throws 3 picks and fumbles twice. So he has 5 turnovers as the running quarterback. So it's just funny how it's the same thing. That was in 2013, I think. And here's Lamar doing the same fucking thing. And it doesn't work. A running quarterback's been trying, Michael Vick, Steve McNair. It doesn't work. It's not. You have to have the running back run. And see, Frisco really, they had Frank Gore, but they weren't a running team. They had Crabtree, and they had this killer defense, so they weren't playing to their defense. And then at the end, he throws to Richard Sherman. Why the fuck would you throw it into Richard Sherman? And he runs the routes better than the receivers, right? So you got Richard Sherman batting the ball for the interception, and you're like Crabtree, or you're like whatchamacallit, Kaepernick. Did you really want to throw the ball to Richard Sherman? Really? This is where you're going with the ball, not to somebody else who's open. I don't think they had George Kittle back then, but I mean, you don't want to throw to, why is Crabtree being covered by Richard Sherman? Why didn't you motion him away so somebody else picks him up? But you throw the ball to Richard Sherman, and you wonder why you lost and you got it intercepted. And that's exactly what you see is the same thing. The turnovers by the running quarterbacks, they get into the red zone. He can no longer run at the 10. He was at the 10-yard line, and he tries to run, and they nail him. And then he throws the interception, and they kicked field goals. Nobody went for it on 4th down. I think once on the last drive of the game where Seattle was down 6, I think, and had to score, and then they went for it on 4th, but nothing else in the game, especially against those two defenses. You can't do that. Sherman was the man. Well, you don't bet. I didn't bet against him. I like Sherman on Fox Show with Skip Bayless because he's stoic. That's what you start understanding. Now that we're stoic, and we've been stoic, but now we understand what stoic is. Sort of like understanding what an INFJ is. So now we understand where INFJ is. Now we understand we're stoic. And when you watch these movies, you start liking the stoic guys. Clint Eastwood, Richard. I was watching Where Eagles Dare. Richard Burton, very stoic. you know, this girl asked him, well, don't you love me? Or, what's going on? And he says, well, I don't care. And then he goes and screws her. And it's just like he did what he wanted. He didn't answer her question. He just did what he wanted. And you like those characters. And now good luck finding stoic. I mean, now they're just so stupid that's really the problem. So we like stoic characters. Mostly like Clint Eastwood and Richard Burton were two prime examples of that. Tom Cruise is kind of like that. These guys that cry, I'm like, I'm sorry, what is that? So I was explaining that earlier, Bobby, about Daria. It's her birthday. So last night she said, thank you. I said, happy birthday, happy birthday, Daria. And, and I had given her money. So I wished her happy birthday yesterday. She says, my birthday's the 25th of February. Says, I know, I just want to wish you a birthday there. So she sent me last night. So when she woke up this morning, thank you. And then, so now I'm waiting to talk to her today, and I see she's on and she's not texting me. And I'm kind of like, in my world, if she texted me now, I would respond like right now. But in her world, and so in my world, I would expect if she's on, she texts me, right? But she doesn't. She goes on, but I don't know what she's doing. So she's probably busy with her birthday, not being able to text me back. And she texted me yesterday and this morning. So anyway, so from a stoic standpoint, I'm expecting her to do what I would do. Like if I get a text or your questions, right? You ask your question, I immediately respond to it, or unless I'm in the mid thought. And so with her, I'm sitting there just, why isn't she texting? I mean, she's on. It says she's on at 11 o'clock. Like, why isn't she texting me? That's why I kind of wonder about WhatsApp. Is it on if she's on her phone, or is it on when she's actually in WhatsApp? So it'll say the time. And that's kind of where but that's what being stoic is getting the point of view that what I would do is what I expect her to do isn't correct. You've got to understand her point of view, which is maybe she's busy, and I'm sure I'll get the answer. And I said, how was your birthday? Her friend was going to come over. I gave her money. She said, oh, I'm going to buy some nice food. And I says, well, let me know, take some pictures. Let me know what's happening because I'm here. So anyway, that's what I would expect her to do is different than what she actually does. And that's where you got to be stoic. Otherwise it drives you nuts. Then you get upset. Well, why didn't she text me? And well, she didn't. I mean, can't control. All I can do is text her. I can't control the text back. That's what stoic is. You can only control yourself. You can't control the other. Now, if the other doesn't work out and you're not happy and you're frustrated with it, then you just walk away from it after trying to look, it really frustrates me. And if they keep doing it, say, look, this is a waste of my time. I don't like this. So I have talked to her about it. She has been better about texting me, not waiting 3 days to text me, not understanding that it was bothering me. So anyway, I don't know when we're meeting. Basically, I told her I go to St. Pete or Turkey. Then she's saying maybe Turkey. And then I'm trying to get a date. So that's where I'm at with her now. Was like, okay, I'm not working. I'm waiting at GM. I was applied for a financial analyst last Thursday. I think I told you. And so this week, I hope to hear from GM about if they want me to come in for an interview. Keep in mind, I've worked there twice before on contract roles, like 1-year contracts. And so I've been there before and I got references. So I did good. So you would think they would like me because I have worked there and got references that I did a good job ahead of people that haven't worked there. Because the whole point is, well, do we trust Howard? Is he going to be, will he be good? Can he get the job done? And well, obviously, if I have before, it would take a lot of your worry away. Sort of like these quarterbacks, right? Well, I don't know. I'm going to play this guy because he's played before. That's why we look at some of these guys they put in there and we're like, what the fuck? Why would, like Mayfield, why you playing Mayfield? He's not good. Well, he's played before. Okay. But we will see. So silver and gold, the COMEX looks like it's broken and they're all on Bitcoin. So all these people that think Bitcoin's going to the roof, it ain't going anywhere now. Now that COMEX got a hold of it, and we know how they keep the price of gold and silver down, but they're all, see, I think they're getting rid of gold and silver, and I think they're moving away from it because they know they can't control it. Here's China, Russia, India, all buying the COMEX gold and silver. And they don't want to keep shorting it because what they're doing is actually shorting to keep the price down with derivatives, which are options. Now they're realizing they're going to get killed because they're buying it. It's coming out. There's gold-backed Zimbabwe. There's gold-backed BRICS. They're all coming out. They're all going to need a higher gold price, and they don't want to get caught. And then he just said half of the guys have gone. There's 100 guys. Now there's 50. And what he said, 40 million ounces have left COMEX. So what's there, 40 million ounces left, which I don't know how many tons that is, but it'll be gone soon, especially if they keep these prices low. So so you have first black swan event, Zimbabwe going gold, second one, BRICS going to gold, third one, COMEX getting blown up and going to Bitcoin. And now people who are in Bitcoin have no idea what's going to hit, what's going to get them, because they'll be in it thinking, oh, it's Bitcoin, it's real money, it's, in place of the dollar. It ain't real money. It's never going to be real money. And then you've got COMEX keeping it down. So maybe what's happening is BlackRock and JP Morgan are coming out and saying, well, we know the dollar's gone, so we're going to come out with a digital dollar like Bitcoin as the medium of exchange. So the problem is it can't be. It's not accepted. You cannot go to Kroger's and use Bitcoin. You can't go to Toyota and buy a car. You can't buy a house with it. You can't go to a dinner and use it in a restaurant. Can you pay your utilities in it? And what's really the value of it? That's why the cars, we don't really know what the value is. So if I'm going to buy a $40,000 Camry, how much Bitcoin do they take for it? They don't know what the value is. So what are they going to take? So that's where I see the problem. They're not going to, it'll never be money. It's just an investment, sort of like a stock. I guess it's like a baseball card or a stock. Although we know the Mahomes value probably better than that, but it's probably a stock that, are you going to give them shares of Microsoft to buy the car? No, you got to sell it for the medium of exchange. And that's really the problem, is getting the medium of exchange. So keep that in mind. That's what's coming. But now the gold and silver, people are going to realize it, like your friend Bobby will realize it too late, where he will now see. So what's our whole Titanic story is? The boat hit the iceberg, the water's coming in, get off the boat now instead of waiting till you're underwater. That's the thing with your buddy. He's sitting there in dollars, and he's in dollars, and you're kind of like, okay, you're in dollars, but it's going out. And at what point do you sell your dollars and buy gold and silver? Well, you don't want to buy it when gold's at 10,000, or you don't want to buy silver when it's at 2,000. That's what you don't want to. You want to do it now. We bought gold and silver way ahead. We're 5 steps ahead. People like your friend are going to be 5 steps behind. They're going to realize the dollar is worthless. They're going to panic. They're going to realize the only place to go is gold and silver. And then by then it's going to be so much more expensive that he won't be able to buy so much. So I was listening to one of these guys. They said, well, if you have 100 grand, he says, but you can buy it now. It's 2,000 ounces. You buy 50 ounces. But if you wait and then gold starts going up, the same 100,000 is only going to buy 25 ounces. And that's what's going to happen with gold. And so I think Egon said that. And that's what will happen. No, I'm going to go to the pool after. It's open till 4:30, but I started this, I think, 11. On the weekends, I'm used to doing it because of football, so I don't mind. And sometimes I prefer to go to the pool after because if I go early and then I do this and then I kind of get a little jumpy in the house, like I want to go for a ride or something, or go to the grocery. I want to get out, right? And it's too cold. It got warm and then it got cold yesterday, so I want to go to at least walk the lake or something. But at this point, I prefer to do this and then go out and go to the pool and then relax and then get home and watch some TV. I made hamburgers yesterday, so I don't need to cook. And no, I didn't get Chinese. Maybe I'll go during the week for lunch or something. But I'm a little pissed because she's charging me $1 for hot mustard and not telling me. And like I said, I bought Grey Poupon for like $3 for a big container. And the point is, if you want to charge me for it, tell me you're charging me for it. Don't sit there and thinking, well, it's just $1 and I'm not gonna, I won't tell you, but I figured it out because I go, this is a couple dollars too high. So I charge you for the hot mustard. I'm going, I can't believe you're charging me without telling me. Because when I ate in the restaurant, when it used to be a restaurant, it would come in those yellow containers, the big long ones that you get the ketchup in. And so you never paid for it. She'd bring the container and you'd squeeze it. So now she's starting to charge. And then I stopped tipping her because I was actually tipping her $1 on top of it. So I'm losing $1 on the hot mustard and tipping her $1, which who tips on a carryout? So now I'm like, I can't believe you did that. That's unbelievable. So I'm a little upset. And so I'll go back, but I want to take a month off or so, and then I'll go. But I'm trying to teach them a lesson. Like, dude, you've got to tell people what you're charging them for. Who does that? And did you get General Chow last night? No, I'll get it. Like I just said, I'll get it maybe during the week. She's trying to Madoff the professor after you've been a loyal. That's what I told her. I says, I made that comment, but I said, I've been coming here for 30 years and you're fucking with me on hot. First of all, you should be giving me like a free lunch every once in a while, right? You shouldn't. Look, you've been here for 30 years or so. I think it was like the mid 80s or something. I don't know. And you don't get I'll give you half off, or here's a couple of free egg rolls. Doesn't do any of that shit. And, now I'm tipping her on a carryout, which you never do. And she's charging me for hot mustard. You need to charge me for hot mustard? Really? So I'm like, I said, no hot mustard. And by the way, I'm not giving you a tip. I don't know. I assume she knows I tipped her because in the receipt, it says tip and I'll put in $1. And I said, so you lost your tip and you lost your hot mustard. So good job pissing off the customer. And that's where you don't understand. And she's probably going, he can afford $1. And it's not the $1. It's you're not telling me that. That's the whole problem. That's why you got to be honest and explain it. And then off you go. So anyway. So yeah, I'll go back, but it'll be not every Saturday, but maybe once a month or so. If I need chicken, I can go to the grocery store. They have they'll make chicken and they'll sell it already cooked, like not the rotisserie, but actually pieces. So if I need chicken, I'll do that. But it's funny, I was pulling a steak out of the freezer and it said New York strip and it was like 2.25 ounces. And I was like, well, I wonder if this is, because sometimes I'll get 2 steaks and they'll pack them together. I says, I wonder if this is 2 steaks. And I opened it up, it was a roast. So now I'm like cooking a roast earlier in the week. And, you bake it for 70 minutes. Not a problem. And it tastes good. But it was just funny how I don't know what my roast are versus my steaks. I just wanted a steak. And anyway, I started to notice the prices going up at the grocery store, like for the meats. Usually I can get them for $5, $6. They'll have one like the 90 or the 86 for like $5, but you got to buy 3 pounds. One was 8 something and one was 7 something for the meat. So the steaks were like $14 a piece. So I'm thinking to myself, here it comes. Here comes the inflation. I noticed my utility bills went up a little bit. They've been like $20. Like there's the heat, but then the electric is like, $15, $20 because I don't have air conditioning going now. It's wintertime. And I noticed it's like 25, $30. And I'm like, my water bill's a little bit more. So I've noticed in my mind, here it comes. We're starting to get real inflation. And hyperinflation is when the prices keep going. When that Zhang thinks hyperinflation is what? A lot of inflation. She doesn't understand. It's when prices keep going. So if you go to the grocery store now and milk is $2.50, and then you go tonight and milk is $3.50, and you go tomorrow and milk is $4.50, and you go tomorrow night and it's $5.50, now you got hyperinflation. That's what hyperinflation is. The prices just keep going and people turn into a frenzy, and your buddy's going to be running to the grocery store. Oh, my money. And that's the other thing your buddy doesn't understand, Bobby. By keeping your dollar here, as the inflation hits, it's now $5 for a Pepsi, and then it's $10 for a Pepsi or a milk or a bread or a Raisin Bran or Oreos. Now it's $5, and then it goes, now it's $10. So they're eating into the value of the dollar. That's what he doesn't get. So he thinks I got, let's say he's got 300,000 in the bank. Oh, I'm fine. I got 300,000. But he doesn't. It doesn't have value. The value is what's going down. It now takes $10 to buy a box of Oreo cookies. But if you have gold, you keep value, right? Your ounce goes from 2,000 to 3,000. You don't lose anything. In fact, you gain. And that's the part that people don't get. The inflation is the money losing value, not prices going up. That's where the biggest scam, that's the biggest Madoff that they tell you is inflation is prices. It's not. It's the dollar. Now it takes $10 to buy Pop-Tarts. That's the inflation. The money's worthless. That's why you get out of it, because otherwise your 100,000 is going to buy a Pop-Tarts and Oreos and Cheerios, and that's it. And that's the real thing that people don't understand. They think they have a lot of money, but they don't understand is the money has no value. And that's why we're getting into gold and silver, because the gold and silver value goes up, not down. So as the gold goes from $2,000 to $3,000, or silver's 25 is about to go to 50 and 100. And that's why they mean, well, it's not the gold and the silver going up, it's the dollar going down. Yes, but it's also gold and silver going up because they've been repressed. So it's a double header. But that's what's happening is, so you get the other, so it's a scale, right? The dollar's being inflated, gold goes up like a teeter-totter. And that's why you're in gold and silver, because the way it goes down is you print, right? And as it's printing, it's worthless. And then the gold and silver jumps. And that's what's not been happening, but about to be happening with Zimbabwe going to gold and BRICS going to gold and the dollar going out, heavy inflation. That's what's happening. So that's how we protect ourselves. So that's why yesterday I ran and I got another quarter ounce of gold. I said, fuck it. I mean, it's all I can eat. I better get more. I put it on my credit card and I go, I'm not worried about it because I won't owe my credit card because they'll be out of business. Chase will be gone. The credit card will be worthless. However, then I won't be able to go to Russia or Ukraine because I won't be able to. How will I get my ticket? So I'll have to figure out a way to use gold to buy the ticket. But that's why I got to get there soon. He's not my buddy, Professor. He was just some idiot that hangs around a few people. I know. That's okay, Bobby. Don't take it wrong. I didn't mean it like that, but yeah, I understand. And that's why you don't hang around with them. And that's why you learn not to hang around those type of people. I agree with you. I didn't mean it like that. I just, whoever this person is, but yeah, that's what stoic is. We see these people and we run the other way. We don't want to get in conversations with them because it's like Greg and John going off this tangent. We're talking the other day. He says, "Oh, I was watching the Dodger exhibition game," and I'm like, "Greg and John, I'm in the middle of explaining inflation or Bitcoin's not money. And you're coming up with the Dodger preseason game," and I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. Why would you bring that into the conversation when we're talking about something serious like brics or inflation or gold-backed currency or Russia or something like that?" That's where Greg and John misses the point. He's not listening to the conversation, and he's coming off on this tangent that you're breaking my concentration to read this crap that you're giving me on the Dodgers. I don't about exhibition baseball. I don't care about exhibition football, but even less. I thank you, Bobby. Well, you're my brother. You're my buddy. We are stoic and not these other non-thinking individuals. Greg is not a bad guy, but he needs to be more stoic. I'm not saying Greg is a bad guy, but why do you come up with the Dodger exhibition in the middle of the comments? In the middle, we're talking stoic or something. Where does that? It doesn't even fit. I'm not even talking baseball. I talk football, but I very rarely talk baseball, except for with what you do or your card or the Mantle card or the Mahomes or something. But then talk about it if I'm talking about Mahomes card. Then go start. Let's talk about football. Okay, that's that. I'm talking football. Bring up football. I get that, but don't talk if I'm talking stoic or we're talking poker, we're talking women, we're talking gold. Then why would you bring up preseason baseball? He just likes the vampire time. Yeah, I understand, and I didn't. If you noticed, I haven't blocked him, but. He's got. How old is Greg and John? I got a feeling he's like 20 years old or something. I don't get a feeling he's like our age, but I don't know. Hopefully he buys some gold and silver. At least he understands and buys it. My lifeguard friend Julia, I gave her 10 ounces of silver. I said, "Look, I'm not gonna. It's about to go, and I don't want to see you left behind because once it goes, you can't afford it now. You definitely ain't going to afford it. So I'll see if I see her today. She's not there that often. She's a little older, and she's in school, and now she's working at a hospital as a nurse or whatever she's doing. Greg Estelle has not bought metals yet. I don't know. He might have bought a little bit of silver. Not quite. I'm sure he didn't buy gold, but not a lot of silver. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I get the feeling he can't afford it. Now, I don't know who he is, if he was a ball player or what. And if he knows you, maybe he knows you from baseball, but I don't know. And that's why I show you. I'm not trying to show off that I bought it. I'm trying to say, look, I put my money where my mouth is. I'm telling you to buy gold and silver. Oh, look, I just bought a 1/4 ounce of gold and 10 ounces of silver. My problem with silver is I now have 610 ounces. And I'm like, if I want to travel, I need to take gold because it's worth a lot more. I get more bang for my buck with 5 ounces of silver of gold than I got to carry 100 ounces of silver. So that's the thing. Figure out what to do with it. But I'm not in the least bit worried that my guy is not going to silver hits $100 an ounce and I bring in 10 ounces that he's not going to pay me for it. And I was looking at 1099s, and you should not pay you should not get a 1099 for gold if it's an American Eagle, or silver if it's under 100 units. So the face value of silver is $1. That means you got 100 units of silver before you get 1099. Not 100, not if they're $100 each. There should be, it's face value, which is the $1. So I think we'll be fine with 1099s. Just limit it, and then American Eagles should not be 1099, and the other ones I think if the quarters and half ounces, I think you're fine. I think it's only the ounce, but I'm not even sure they're going to do anything with the maple leaf because it's really Canadian, or the Cougar Ant. So I'm not sure they even 1099 those because they're not even American money. So we will see. But that's what's coming up. I think in this next month, March 11th is the repo day. You're going to see banks going out. So please have all your money out of the bank like now. And then if you want to put some back in, fine. But I would recommend you buying as much gold and silver as you can get your hands on. And a worst case, like me, all my money's in gold and silver and my baseball cards. And if I need money, I'm going to sell my gold and silver before I sell them, because the Mahomes card's not graded. So let's say this is worth $5,000 now. If I get a PSA 10 on it, it might be worth 50 grand. I don't know. These 3 Super Bowls, a 50 count. I'm assuming it's worth a lot of money. But I don't have it graded yet. But the gold, I don't need graded. So if worst case, I need a little bit of money, I go to the thing, I give them an ounce or two of gold. It gives me $5,000-$6,000 and off I go. But I really don't want the dollars. So unless I'm helping the girls, where Jenna needs something or Daria needs something, then I will do that. I was reading up on going to Russia that I think I can bring money and get some sort of credit or debit card, a Russian card with the money, or I can just bring it. And I think there's banks that will switch your money in from US, but it's got to be like perfect money. Like if it's ripped, they won't take it. It's really weird. It's got to be like pristine hundreds. Then there's like a credit or debit card. My debit card I think will be okay. But I think I got to get rubles out of it, which is fine. When I was in Barcelona, I would go I'd get euros for my money, and they killed me on it with a $26 for transaction fee or something. But I can do that. So I think what I can do if I'm with Daria, just send PayPal to her sister and let her sister send us rubles, which is what we do anyway, and go from there. So we'll see. But then I'm waiting to know what we're doing. And it's frustrating with her. She, it's like, don't you want to meet me already? Like, the war's been going on for 2 years. So I don't know. Jenna's okay. The war's not interfering with her city. It's kind of in the middle. So I'm hoping the war stays away from her. And they've taken, I guess, Odessa and Kharkov, and she's kind of not near those. One's on the Polish border. It's a huge country. So she's on the east, and then Poland's on the west. So if you look at it like this, here's Russia's over here. Here's Kharkov. She's like right here. And then over here is Odessa and Lviv and Poland. So they're really not going to go this way. They have taken Odessa for the seaport and that. But after learning about Zelensky being so corrupt, I don't even care who runs it. Excuse me. So that's where I'm at. So I'm waiting to see about that. I'm waiting to hear about the GM job. So once gold goes, I'm retired for sure this time. I tried to retire last time, I'm still getting Social Security, so that's like $24.50 a month. It pays rent and the food and the utilities, basically everything except for a little bit on the credit card, and then the girls. So, but the girls need it. So I'm reading up on Stoic. Like, are they taking advantage of me, and what is it like? And it's, as I told you yesterday or the other day, it was basically you build your garden and it's full, and then with the excess you give away to your friends. Oh, here's some carrots, but I got a bunch of carrots. Here's some carrots. So kind of what I done is build my gold and silver, got my baseball cards, got some money, and then the extra I give to the girls. So it's okay. I don't think if I'm giving them 100 or so every couple of weeks that they're using me. I think they would if they wanted to get, like Carmen was using me. She wanted me to buy her a house. It ain't happening, Carmen. So I thought she was trying to use me. But in this case, I don't think that I don't get that Daria and Jenna are using me. And Jenna I've met, so she's fine with me giving her 100, 150 for nails or food or something. She's fine with it. And Daria seems very, yeah, I gave her it was an expensive February for me, but I got that she was very, and then I said, well, when we meet in Turkey, I'll get you a nice birthday gift. So, and she knows I got the gold and silver, but so I'm not worried. She wants to be with me. I said, what the fuck do you want? What are we doing here? And she said, no, I want to be with you. And I'm like, okay. So that requires us meeting. What are we waiting for? So she doesn't tell me fully what's going on. She's afraid, like, to tell me she smokes or drinks, like I won't like her or something. And I say, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't smoke and I don't drink. I try to stay healthy. And I think she's okay with that. Anyway, so this will be an interesting March with gold and silver. Yes, Zimbabwe has come out with gold back currency, as has looks like BRICS is right on their way. Russia has got all this gold, so all the central banks are buying gold. I get confused sometimes. Like Alligator will say all the banks, but the U.S., and then Egon will say, well, only the BRICS banks. So let's look at Egon. Egon was on yesterday. And it was pretty basic.
ATS nature.
And buying up more and more gold at the same time that individuals, on the advice of organizations like yours, are also looking to preserve their wealth by buying gold. So one question that I had for you:
show this to your, but to this guy, Bobby.
Renewable resource. There's a finite amount of gold, and as more countries there's more competition for buying up the existing supply. Is there actually a point at which we run out of gold, where gold is not available to buy as wealth preservation?
Yeah, and the important question. First of all, central banks, you're right, central banks are buying gold today, but not Western central banks. They haven't bought for a long, long time. Most Western central banks sold a big part, half of their gold or more around 2000. So, and they're still not buying. They don't understand gold, and they are okay. Western central banks still have some holdings, but even that is questionable. I'm not sure that the US, for example, has the 8,000 tons that it says it has, because it hasn't been a proper audit, physical audit of the US gold since Eisenhower's days. So it's questionable if, they say that they have it, but they also, because the definition of having it is that if they lend it to somebody, which they do, They still call it their gold. But what is happening now is that the US lends to a bullion bank. A bullion bank is a bank dealing in gold, all the major investment banks, for example, do. And then that bullion bank sells that physical gold to China, for example, because China and India are the biggest buyers of gold today. So the gold is lent by the say the Fed, or central bank or the U.S. government to a bullion bank. The bullion bank transfers to China, and all the central bank has from the bullion bank is a piece of paper saying we owe you that much gold, physical gold. But the Fed or the U.S. government counts this as real gold, but it's never going to come back. So what I'm saying is there is buying today of gold in a major way by Eastern central banks or brics central banks, I should say. But the Westerners are not buying at all, and the public is only buying to a very small amount. Generally, the level of ownership of physical gold today among the public is not more than 0.5% of world financial assets, and that includes gold mining companies. So people have not yet realized that gold is an asset that they should hold, and even in spite of the fact that you take in this century, in the last 23 plus years, gold is basically the best performing assets of all assets in the world, of all major asset classes. But in spite of that, people haven't really understood that they need that wealth preservation. That's for the simple reason that banks, asset managers, etc., they don't recommend gold to people. They want to churn commission. They want to buy and sell stocks and bonds and derivatives, etc. They're not interested in selling them gold that's just going to lie there and they don't earn money on. And if they do sell them gold, they rather sell them a form of derivative gold, like an ETF or paper gold, which is, of course, nothing to do with wealth preservation either, because that paper gold, when the problems start in the world, there is no chance whatsoever that paper gold, which is in some future exchanges, for example, they're talking about being 100 times the physical gold available.
Right.
So there isn't enough gold in the world. We cannot produce more than about over 3,000 tons a year, plus scrap gold, etc. And so there is no, if demand increases, which I am absolutely convinced it will because of all the problems that we are talking about here, then more gold cannot be produced. But at the same time, there will be massive demand for gold from institutions, from pension funds, and from individuals also. So the only way to satisfy that increased demand is not by more quantity of gold, but by having gold at a higher price. So this, if people want to buy, let's say $100,000 worth of gold, now they might get half of that in a few years' time, half of the quantity they will get today, because the price is going to double or more. Now, wealth preservation, you asked what wealth preservation in the form of physical gold. It's not just for the wealthy, it's for everyone. It's just that our company deals with high net worth individuals, but we have companies we work with.
So, can anybody tell me the Ponzi scheme he just said? Because I just got it. So, it's not gold. Gold's not the Ponzi scheme. But gold is the answer, right? It's going to go way to the moon because of the demand. And then as people get out of the dollar because it's worthless, they'll run. And like you said, you'll get half of the ounce. So 100,000 will buy you 50 ounces now. We'll buy you 25 ounces in 2 years is what he's saying, because the price will go from 2,000 to 4,000 or more. Maybe you only get 10 ounces for 100,000. And that's what I'm saying. That's not the Ponzi scheme. The Ponzi scheme is people keeping you in dollars and not gold. Like you said, they want the commission. So the Ponzi scheme is stay in dollars, while we buy gold and we'll clean up on it and then it's going to go up. That's the Ponzi scheme, is they keep you in dollars, buy stocks, buy bonds, buy CDs, buy real estate trusts, keeping you in there, keeping you blind to gold while they buy, all the banks are buying the gold and then us at this price. And then as it goes up, we double our money and everybody gets the shit beat out of them. And what does that remind us of? That Wall Street movie with Michael Douglas when he says, Blue Star wants, buy Coca-Cola. And they buy it and then it's released and then everybody's buying it after it's already run up 10 points, right? That's the Ponzi scheme that I'm referring to. And so that's what's happening. They're buying the gold now, and then then everybody else will buy the gold at a higher price. And that's why they don't want to tell people to buy gold. So what I'm telling you is really gold. It's Mahomes gold that I'm telling you, because it's like we're on the inside. We know the gold's going to go to the moon. So buy it now. We're not supposed to know that. Just a few of us know it. This is why these people that Bobby's talking about don't understand it. They're still in dollars. And if they talk to their broker or financial planner, he's keeping them in dollars, keeping them in the bank, keeping them blind to gold and silver. And this is the problem. So you buy the gold when it's too late. And that's the Ponzi scheme. So keep in mind, we're on the right side of the Ponzi scheme. We're not on the wrong side of it. But people don't understand that, right? People don't get, because I'm 5 steps ahead, people can't see it. Buy gold, buy silver, buy gold, because it's going to go up. And you got to have faith that I have faith I'm right. You got to have faith that, yes, he knows what he's talking about. Yes, he's right. Yes, I'm buying it very cheaply. But I try to explain the whole faith, right? I'm explaining the faith. Buy it now because it's being inflated. That you think that's they know what they're doing. So they're all buying gold or silver. Although Warren Buffett was asked, does Warren Buffett own any gold? And he doesn't, because he doesn't understand it. He thinks it's not a commodity. He doesn't get its money. Warren Buffett, for as smart as they make him appear, doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So for him not to be in gold, he's a moron. Now, he owns a lot of silver, but it's more for industrial. And I wonder if he actually owns physical silver or if he owns ETFs. I got a feeling he owns ETFs. I can't imagine this guy buying physical. So he's going to be broke. And I'm looking forward to that. There's no way he's got ounces of silver and he doesn't have any gold. So what's he going to do when the dollar goes out? He's fucked. Gates, I think, owns some silver, but most of these guys, they're too stupid. Most of these guys are not finance people. So you really have to have the financial understanding that this is being printed to zero. You have to get that first. That's the first concept to understand, which I'm sure they don't understand it. They all think, well, it's the dollar. Where's it going? It's not going anywhere. And that's the first problem, right? And so that's the first problem, is understanding there's a problem, understanding concepts. And I do it with a lot that I know I'm way ahead of most people. They don't quite get the concepts I do, and you can hear when they try to pick a game, they don't understand it. But as I've shown you, Kawasaki and some of these guys, they don't understand what paper gold is and what derivatives are. Well, what should I do is the silver market, and they can't answer the question. They don't know. All he says is I buy real silver coins from 1964 when you can buy ounces now. And then she says she doesn't know. Is it controlled? Of course it's controlled by COMEX, but they don't know it. So that's the silver. They don't understand inflation. The woman doesn't understand hyperinflation. They don't understand COMEX. So that's where you really have to understand the game. The COMEX, and that's the problem. But it's true, let's say with women or poker, it's the same concepts, right? You got to understand women, who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, how is she thinking, and how emotional she is. She thinks differently anyway. Where's Daria texting me today? I'm sure she's busy with her friends. Maybe she doesn't feel good. I don't know. It's a little different mindset, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll hear from tomorrow. She's got to go for her neck, so I'll hear from her. And the same thing in poker. You're trying to figure out the psychology of the person you're playing against. A lot of times they read you. So you got to understand that's part of the game, is they're making their bet based on what you're doing. So as long as you understand that, you might check with the full house. And I've done that with four of a kind I've checked before. And they'll make a bet because they think I don't have anything, because I'm, smart enough to realize you're reading me. So you got to understand the game, right? Poker, women, you got to understand the game. What's really going on? What are they thinking? Where are you going with them? Whatever. And we understand inflation. We understand money. And then we understand economics. We understand that if they print the money and they inflate it, it's going to lose all its value. And then you get into gold and silver, and you're getting in early, but we understand we're in early. We know the price will go up, and that's the Ponzi scheme. Same thing with Madoff. You had to understand that if you ask him, how do you make the money, and he doesn't answer you, it's because he can't. So it's the same thing. Like if I talk to Daria and she doesn't answer, it's she can't or she doesn't want to. Now, if I get a WhatsApp from somebody and I don't want to talk to them, I don't. I see that they've contacted me. So then you wonder if she's doing that. She just doesn't want to contact me for some reason. But it's different. She's in Russia, so I'm not going to know what she's doing now. I do send her the pictures so she sees I'm teaching class now. But I don't believe she ever really goes into YouTube because I don't think she can understand it. But we will see. I'm going to push her a little bit about the meet, and I'm not going to keep playing the game. I'll give her a little bit more to set a date, and then I'm going to just say, okay, look, you obviously say things, but you don't mean them, or you don't really want to meet. Okay, talk to you later. And then you got to be stoic with it, and you just move on. That's why you've got to take care of yourself and be strong, and then if she doesn't, you can't cry. You can't be all beaten up. You just, okay. And that's why I have more than one girlfriend, because then okay, Jenna, where do you want to go? And the same thing with Jenna now. If I talk to Daria, Jenna doesn't know. So then you just go from there. And if Daria doesn't, says she wants to meet and doesn't meet, then okay. Or she wants to meet in the summer. Okay, I'll go meet Jenna in the spring, and when you're ready, I'll meet. Otherwise, and by the way, I'm not going to help you as much. And just go from there and then see what you got. She's nice, so I don't think Daria's playing me. Her look and her actions and her emojis and everything that I'm reading she's not doing that. What else? NFL draft coming up, as we talked yesterday. So many weak quarterbacks in the league, so many GMs and coaches that are clueless to what they're doing. What's Baltimore? Why do they keep signing Lamar? And then they wonder why they keep losing. What is their real point? Are they trying to win a championship game or not? Or are they just trying to sign Lamar and draw attendance and go from there? What's Baltimore really trying to do? Is Harbaugh a good coach? I don't think so. If he was, he wouldn't have Lamar as his quarterback. He can't win with him, but he doesn't want to do that. And then they just gave him $50 million a year for what, 4 or 5 years? Do you want to win or not? The way to win is Mahomes and Burrow, not this. The way to win would have been not signing Lamar and waiting for trading for Daniels, Bo Nix, Penix, or Hartman. That's how you're going to win. Don't forget what he did at Wake Forest, and don't forget about Bo Nix. Everybody's forgetting about him because what he's doesn't run. I mean, and then Penix, Daniels is a good runner. Everybody loves Caleb. Well, I'm not sure I do, but okay, we can't blame him because he hasn't played defense. So he scores a lot of points. But you need, I don't know. He seems to be too much of a running quarterback. Now, maybe he's more accurate, but I wouldn't either Pickett or Trubisky be my guest or Thurston. But why draft him at all? Wow, I like Daniels. I saw the running back got arrested or something for doing something. So I don't know what's going on with that. What's happening with that girl, Bobby, that she smiled at you and you gave her the number? Are you talking to her, or was she vampiring you? So like I keep saying with Daria, I'm like, I wished her happy birthday. And she did text me in the morning. Well, when she woke up, so 1:00 in the morning, thank you. She always says my love. Thank you, my love. So it always feels good. And you think that's why it hurts when you're not. But I've seen she's been on a few times, but I haven't. I says, how was your birthday? And, so I don't know if she's partying or what. Her friend was going to come over. And then, of course, her daughter. So I don't know what's going on with her birthday, what she had, or maybe she got sick, her neck's bothering her. Who knows? She's not good at telling you up front. So she'll tell me tomorrow, I was in the hospital for my birthday. But she does show me pictures when she is in the hospital, like her neck's bothering her. She'll show me a picture of it. So I do trust her. I think that's the key here is I do trust her. So it's, again, I'm trying to be like, when are we meeting? I said, I'm frustrated because I've been waiting to meet you for 2 years. And where are you? And that's really what I'm at is the 2 years of waiting, and now we can finally meet because I can go to there or we can go to Turkey. And now we were waiting for the daughter, and the daughter's not going to come now. She said, no, why don't you meet my mom? And then once I know you're okay, then we can meet. And I'm like, okay, I thought the whole family would meet together, but that's fine. So now it's just me and her. We don't have to wait for the kid in school. Then we can go anytime. So I don't know. Daria's a scared girl, so she was scared to go get the implants and stuff like that. So I think she's afraid to meet. And I know how that is. It's weird. Sometimes you go and you travel to meet somebody who you've never met, and you're kind of nervous about meeting them. I was nervous to meet Irina. The first time she no-showed me, the second time I went to see Carmen, and then me and Carmen got into a fight. And then I said to Irina, well, I'm in town and walking in the park and stuff. So it was kind of weird, but I can see where girls would be nervous. I'm American. I'm older. They do get a little nervous because it's fine with me. So we will see. So again, I'm trying to stay stoic about when are we meeting, but question, or she thought she answered it, and I'll keep saying, next holiday we'll be together, or for your next birthday we'll be together. From that doesn't come. So I'm pretty clever like that, going, well, soon we'll be together, and I'm waiting for the date. And then she ignores it. which I don't know why, but I think if I stopped renting food, I would get an answer real quickly. But I don't want to do that to her. She's nice, and we care about each other, so I don't want to hurt her. Anyway, off to the pool soon. It's 2:00. It's open till 4:30, so I think I'll grab a salad and go on. I'll tell you, I had tuna with my salad, and I put the tuna on a pita. But what I did was I put the Ken's Thousand Island dressing. I put a little, and I mixed it in with the tuna like I would Miracle Whip, because I don't use Miracle Whip anymore. And I mixed. It tasted great. So I had the tuna with the Thousand Island dressing, put on the pita as if it's a sandwich, and it tasted great. And then I put it on my salad after. Professor, you ever feel like certain people are professionals at being annoying? Got some family members being like that now, vampiring me. Well, my brothers, I don't talk to my brother. I can't. It's just too hard to be around him. Even my mother would say, "Oh, everything's going to be okay." And, I lost my job. Everything will be okay. But she talks about, like, Zoo did this and that. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? So, yeah, I mean, my mother and my brother are very much vampires, and I can't be around them. My ex was kind of like that. My kids, I don't know what's going on with them. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. That's why you can't be around them. It's just that it drives you nuts. So this is why we're better off being alone or looking for another stoic to be with. Really, like when you see these stoic ones, like, well, this pretty girl's alone for this reason, because she's looking for a stoic guy. And that's really what the point is. So when you see a pretty girl alone, she doesn't want to get vampired either. She's tired of the vampire and she wants to be with the stoic, as we are. So I'm alone because I'm waiting for a stoic, and then I got Jenna and Daria, but their fucking war broke out. Otherwise, I'd be with them. For sure, Jenna, but I'm not going to the Ukraine and getting recruited into the army or getting bombed on by Putin. Russia's easier because Russia's the ones dropping the bombs, but not getting the bombs dropped on them. So better, and they're better taxes, they're coming out with a gold-backed currency. The only problem is, what's Putin really like? What's Russia really like under Putin's leadership? But it looks like they got skyscrapers and this subway that's supposedly incredible, very nice and new, and chandeliers, and so it's kind of like, wow, now is it the whole subway, or is it just one little section that they're showing you? But St. Pete looks like a very nice city. Eat, and then show up in Russia so she can read it. Well, the family members, you just that's tough because they're your family. The guys in the hot tub I can just ignore. The family members, you really figure out what will get them to walk away. So start talking about gold, and they'll go, "Oh, forget it." And then to outsmart them by, if they start vampiring you, you bring up a subject that they don't want to hear about, and they'll leave you. And that's really what you want. But yeah, I get that. It's tough. You see the difference. The reason we watch Mark McGuire, at least he knows what paper gold is, and he knows what brics is, and he knows what gold is, and he's saying, "Look, this is what's happening. Comex is blowing up." These other idiots don't even know what comex is. They never bring up comex. Either they're too stupid, or maybe they think they can't. Maybe they're told not to. It's a hard call because I bring it up and I've never just kill them. Or I had some guy who tried to be somebody else, and I killed him. So yeah, you gotta be careful. But you just don't tolerate it. Like at the hot tub, I just assume not talk to anybody, or in the locker room. If somebody wants to bother me, I'm going to say, look, you're not gonna. I'm so far over your head. You're not gonna know. And I'm being honest, but it's like I don't. What do you want me to talk about? I mean, what's on my mind? You can't handle what's on my mind. If you don't hear the whole story, I can't just tell you. I can say, well, the Titanic's sinking, I'm buying gold. Well, you don't know what the Titanic is. So I got to explain this whole thing to get you to where we are now. And it's just not worth it to me because I don't know who you are. I'm talking like a guy in the locker room or a guy in the hot tub. Like, I don't want to go back to the beginning to explain it. And then I love the look I get. I'm so far over your head, you could have no idea what I'm talking about. And he just gives me a look like, oh yeah, like you're so smart. Yeah, I am. That's the problem, right? And you won't listen to me. So why waste my time on you? Go with your dollar. And then when you go broke, don't come crying to me. So anyway, so it's a nice sun. It was really warm Friday. It was like 60 degrees here. Then it was 30 yesterday. And I still went out in my sweatshirt. It was funny. I go out in my sweatshirt and it's 29 and I'm so happy I'm at the coin store. And then I go to the pool and I'm in my sweats and I didn't care. And then today, I don't know if it's still 29, I will put a coat on. But anyway, so that's basically what's going on. Draft in a month. I'll know more about meeting Daria, I assume soon. It was funny. We're waiting for the daughter with spring break. If she wants me to meet Daria first, then she understands I'm okay. Then meet me. I don't care. I mean, I wanted it to be like a family vacation, but that's okay. We don't need that. Otherwise, that's about it. So have a good day. Anything else? So look for gold and silver to really start taking off. I would advise to buy the next couple of weeks as much as you can, figuring the price will start finally to move. I know we've been waiting and waiting, but I think it's really the price where it's at. It's going to go higher, especially if they're all because they're all running into Bitcoin comex and Bitcoin ETF. That will get what they're doing to gold and silver. They're now doing to Bitcoin and leaving gold and silver alone. And the gold back Zimbabwe right there. Now that we start having gold back currencies, say goodbye to the dollar. So anyway, buy as much as you can. Watch the vampiring. Just try to meet stoic people who are smart and don't really want anything from you, but it's a nice chat. You learn somebody you can hang around with and talk to. That's what we really need, not the vampires who just talk and exhaust us because we're like listening or. See, Greg John's problem is if I'm talking about this and he brings up, I watched the Dodger preseason game because Ohtani was in it. I've totally lost my concentration. Oh, I was talking about Mark McGuire, or I was talking about Egon or Alligator or Daria, or I'm talking about poker, and I got to get off of that to him. So I'm being vampired into a Dodger game that I don't care, don't know, and don't want to talk about, but you're costing my concentration. And that's why I say don't do that unless I'm talking. If I open up the Mahomes card, now you want to talk card collecting, you want to talk football, now do it. My mind's on it. That's why sometimes I have trouble with the guys' names. My mind is not on that. And then I'll use like McCaffrey. I always have trouble with him. And it's like, but I'm not thinking of him, and that's not the what I'm trying to get across. But he'll come up in the conversation, so I do that a lot. So no Super Bowl. I don't know The Rock with this spring league, unless and what's ironic? People would pay to see The Rock and Stone Cold wrestle. You'd get 100,000 people to watch that. But this spring football, who you watch that? You're watching because it's The Rock. but who in spring football are you watching for? Right? There's no Joe Montana in it or Tom Brady or Mahomes. So you're not watching the football just for the football. You're watching the player. So they would make more money just the Rock and Stone Cold every Sunday wrestling. They would make more money than the football, but they don't understand that. That's what they should do is have a show, Rock and Stone Cold, fill the stadium up and do that than anything else. But I don't know. Well, maybe Ric Flair will get involved. Him and The Rock can woo around, and he can rock bottom them, and then it could be more. You'd get more viewers, I think. I don't know who cares about spring football. I don't. I'm not going to waste my time with it, and we'll see. Anyway, I will let you go and have a good day. www.teaserking.com, but it's kind of nothing. You can look at my history. I had a place for trends, but I took it off. There was no point in the trends because I talk about the trends here, and I'm telling you the trends aren't really working. So now I talk overs and unders. So it's really not there. Really go for the picks and the history so you can see what I did, but most of it's talked about here. So anyway, good luck. Buy your gold and silver because it can't be inflated. And this is going out. Now you got the Zimbabwe gold, and you're going to have the BRICS gold and the Russian gold. Get the hell out of the dollar. Get out of the banks and buy your gold and silver, and then you'll be fine. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'll be on tomorrow, I guess 2 o'clock is 1:32. Because it's a Monday, I get up and then I go to the pool and then I do it. Saturday and Sunday, I tend to do this first. Although yesterday I went to get my coins, so I did that first. But anyway, have a wonderful day. Enjoy and stay stoic, be smart, ask questions, and you'll be fine. All right. Have a nice day, everybody. Take care, Bobby. Sir, take care.